Setting up smart mark system. Microphones check. Soundboard check. Recording and streaming software check. Production sheets check. Smart mark hosts check. All systems are a go. Tuesday Night Smackdown, you are clear for broadcast.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Turn it up! Turn it up!
Baum!
Hello and welcome to Smarkdown.
Yo.
Well, tonight we have our hosts, the educated one, that's me, Adam Baum. We got the experienced one, that is our heavy Brian.
Hello.
And the queen, your girl Kiera.
What up? I spoke too quickly. I spoke right after Adam said hello.
That's all right. We are the triple threat. And tonight we have a guest host joining our panel. He is the Marked Out Wrestling podcast equivalent of Heath Slater. By that I mean when our brand split, nobody drafted him. But let's welcome back Patrick.
What's up, guys?
Hey, buddy.
What's up, guys?
Hey, how are you?
Welcome back. Glad to have you, Patrick.
Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure.
We got our normal show routine. I know it's only our second week, but we're going to start off with the Mud Report. We're going to go into this day in wrestling history. We got our three key ingredients. They're going to get into our best and worst. CWC Report, the Make Me Care Divas segment. Brian's got some trivia.
Oh, yeah.
I've got an Asshole Asylum, and we got a special thing for Patrick to do in the middle.
I'm interested.
We're also going to close out with our SummerSlam shape-up. That should be pretty good. A couple matches got added last night on Raw. A couple matches got added on SmackDown tonight, so that should be pretty good. They were in Nashville tonight. And before we get everything started, we got to do some housekeeping, Brian.
Yeah, let's get that going.
Stellar production as always. And I gave Rob all this hell.
Thank you.
Oh, no. Hey, I'll give him credit, brother.
Close out with SummerSlam shape-up.
Come back in an hour.
Here are your Marked Out Wrestling housekeeping notes. You can join us on our website at markedOutWrestling.com, on Twitter at SmartMarkShow, Facebook.com/MarkedOut1, YouTube channel, Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, where we broadcast live every Monday following Raw, our Google Plus page, Marked Out Wrestling Podcast, Instagram, Marked Out Wrestling, and our You Record Studios Smart Line, 704-444-0084. Get connected.
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
Housekeeping, you want me to jerk you off?
What kind of hotel is this?
Oh, it's you.
Can you dig it, sucker?
So, quick shout out to one of our loyal listeners, Joker, who we're starting a little late tonight, and he made sure to mention 10:30, right, guys? And of course, we're a little late. Sorry about that, Joker. We will blame Kiera's daughter for always throwing a tantrum fit right as we get to the main event. It seems whether it was Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, it doesn't matter. Gonna get right into the show.
Let's do it.
Let's start with our Mud Report, Brian.
Mud Report.
Let's try the sound effects again. Not even close.
Yeah, why not? That's what I've got.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Look at your script, you retard. We're on the Mud Report. I'm going to start the Mud Report. Just kind of some stuff that we heard through the grapevine. Kiera, I don't know if you took a look at this, but there is a brand split schedule now that kind of got released. Nobody's really confirmed it yet. It's their pay-per-view schedule. Basically, it says after SummerSlam, which is August 21st, which is obviously both brands, we're going to go into Backlash on September 11th, which is a SmackDown-only event, WWE Network exclusive. Then we go into Clash of Champions on September 25th, which is a Raw-only event. October 9th in Sacramento, SmackDown only event, No Mercy. Hell in a Cell, October 30th in Boston, a Raw-only event. The brands join again at Survivor Series. And then we got TLC in Dallas December 4th for SmackDown. And we have Roadblock December 18th in Pittsburgh. My question is, one we'll get into, I guess we'll figure it out later on. We'll have to talk to the RAWESOME crew on how we're going to watch these pay-per-views and decide. We basically are just doing a little trial run until we get to SummerSlam. But what do you guys think about them going back to 2 pay-per-views a month on the network, but 1 per brand, 1 Raw, 1 SmackDown?
I mean, I think they're going to keep doing it as they used to do it. Have the joint pay-per-views.
Well, in the joint pay-per-views, when they do those will be 4 times a year. They'll have only 1 that month to kind of build up the rivalries and hype.
Right.
So it seems like so the pay-per-views are going down. We're having less pay-per-views than before, but
No way, this is double.
it's doubling now.
Yeah, think about it, Kira. In August, there's 1. Now there's 2 in September, 2 in October, 1 Survivor Series in November, and then 2 in Dallas. 2 in Dallas. 2 in December. The December one is in Dallas. So they're adding 2 pay-per-views now every month except for the big 4. So 8 times 2 is 16 plus the big 4. We're going to 20 pay-per-views a year, guys.
And what was it before?
It was 12. What do you mean, what was it before?
Just 1 pay-per-view
One a
a
month,
month.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, are you kidding me? I mean, they would throw some in every now and again. What do you mean, what was it before? You guys are slow tonight. It's a pay-per-view a month.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Okay.
you're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
So I have a question about that.
Can we talk about this?
How is that gonna work? I mean, if we're gonna have the 2 pay-per-views a month, it looks like. No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe
Say
an
your
invasion.
mind. Come on. What are you thinking?
No, it's already happened. Like my mind's like all sporadic tonight, but I'm thinking like some type of invasion thing. But maybe
Between
not.
who?
With this going all the way to January, I think they'll continue to do potentially some inter-promotional matches, Brian. But, I mean, I can't see an invasion this early.
No, and that's what I was saying. I think they should be more, trying to kind of separate Raw versus SmackDown. If like I said, they shouldn't do an invasion thing. If they're going to do it, that's something that
That's way down the road.
Yeah,
Okay.
that shouldn't even be.
That's way down
on
the
their
road.
thought process.
And then one other thing that stuck out in the Mud Report. Brian, you got this one, or are you actually prepared this time?
Yeah. So for CM Punk, right? Is that what you're talking about, Adam?
Yes,
I
that's
just
what
wanna
I'm
make
talking
sure.
about. If you
Hey.
Now I know why Rob
Hey,
gets
brother.
frustrated making production notes no one looks at.
Oh no, I've been looking at him. So CM Punk couldn't help but dig his former employer, obviously the WWE. Although Punk specifically mentioned,
No, he didn't specifically.
what's that?
He didn't specifically mention Vince.
By
name, but
allegedly, that's kind of the key word that they've learned from the Art of Wrestling podcast with Colt Cabana. That whole interview. If they had said allegedly, that would have helped them out a lot. Apparently, allegedly. But so although Punk specifically mentioned, he didn't these notes aren't right. First of all, that's what it is too, brother. That's why I'm trying to read through these.
You do it.
Trying to yell
Because they
at
have
me.
multi-syllabical words.
failure.
Right.
I should have asked Patrick to read this.
Yeah, right.
Or
So
at
he
least-
didn't say Vince or WWE. Punk has obviously been critical of WWE since leaving in 2014 January. But for right now, quote, for once Punk feels like his health is a priority. UFC handled it wonderfully, in my opinion. So although he's not taking shots at WWE, it's kind of
Well, and there's still no timetable for his MMA debut, so
Sure there
they're
is.
obviously treating him with kid's gloves. Well, I mean, they promoted it, but from what I've heard, there's conflicting reports of whether he's cleared or not. That's why I kind of put this on the Mud Report. Kara, you're nodding in agreement. What do you have to say on this?
No, I don't know why I'm actually not in agreement, but
You don't know why you're nodding. I just like your comments.
my thing is
I just want you to keep hearing you.
my thing is why is I don't see why Punk must really have a grudge against Vince. He must really have a hatred towards this man.
Vince
He can't get over it.
Vince gave him a pink slip on his wedding day, Kira.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
And Vince
shitty.
claimed,
That's calculated.
Yeah, Vince claimed that was just coincidence. What do we?
But he's
what do
gonna
we-
be making
so
bukus of money now.
we
I
got,
mean,
we got on the chat room. We got Brennan Bread saying the last thing we need is invasions. I can accept the RK out of nowhere, but just stop now. we're 2 weeks in FFS.
Well, we're 2 weeks.
FFS.
I get it. Oh, thank you, Brennan Bread. Yeah.
Basically, I agree with him. This is too early. The only reason I don't think it's an invasion for Brock and Randy to be doing this is they have an interpromotional brand match coming up at SummerSlam. They have to kind of do works and angles, and it's better. Stephanie wouldn't invite Randy to come confront Brock, and Shane wouldn't invite Brock to come confront Randy. So this is the only angle you can kind of work with it. I'm definitely against the invasion, but if they just keep it to these two guys kind of taking shots at each other, I'm fine with it.
I agree.
I mean, you didn't see Raw, Brian, but Kiera, come on.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, it was a pretty good ending. I loved it.
I mean, that's...
Well, I saw that part. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of in a wrestling bubble this past couple days.
But that was the big thing. I mean, to me, that's what set Raw this week apart.
Definitely. That was the sticking point that I've been seeing on all the messages.
I mean, honestly, not to really hit on, Raw, but the show, the ending segment didn't really kick up until until Randy came out. I mean, everything was pretty much at a standstill with the whole promo that Heyman did, and then bam, Randy comes out, and then there's an uproar. So,
yeah. And then speaking of Randy, we have
and Heyman was running a little long at that point.
Yeah, right? He was.
And then we have let's see, Brennan and Joker. We have
Joker's just now back in.
Yeah, and then let's
Joker?
see, keep it Brock and Orton one-on-one beef.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly what we just said.
Right.
I can't agree with more there.
Right. Let's see. When it's Brock versus Orton, it just seems like two uncontrollable maniacs that can't be stopped. Invasions are stupid when it's the same company, especially with specific titles on each brand.
Okay, we get it. My invasion idea was dumb.
Everybody's shooting that down.
While
we're on the topic, let's quickly. I just want to go over a couple things from Raw. A couple quick points that I thought the other gang just kind of missed. One of them that I caught. Brian has a clip of this, but of course I caught it because it's a Jew reference. Brian, you got that queued up?
Yeah, we're ready.
All right, play it.
It's about time.
Please, listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Take it from the wise old Jew. All the people that love Paul Heyman should give me the same respect.
Listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
Yes, listen to my voice. Take it from the wide old Jew.
Please, listen to my
Sorry,
voice.
one more time. You guys didn't hear it.
Wise old Jew.
That is ridiculous.
Wow.
I love it. I love it. Anytime they break down the fourth wall, he totally did. His name is Paul Heyman, for God's sakes. I mean, it's one of the Jew suffixes.
Do you think that was, let me ask you, do you think that was something that was given to him from their creative, or do you think that's something that he just kind of...
I don't think at this point they tell Paul Heyman what to do with creative.
Agreed. Yeah.
And that's what he's vocalized. He said that actually, no one's going to tell me what to do.
Yeah, and
he's a Brock Lesnar. Well,
the other couple things that they didn't mention too much in detail there was no one cares about Jinder Mahal seemingly coming back last night, and seemingly to me, the WWE doesn't care either. They didn't even let the guy talk. He delivered one move and left.
Yeah.
He didn't even cut a promo, and I thought that was understated by the other guys. The last real quick thing. We kind of touched on before, but are they going to allow the promotional battles to continue? Are they going to have another one after SummerSlam set up, a la Brock and Randy, where they have guys from two shows invading back and forth, basically doing a feud like this, but leading all the way up to Survivor Series? Are we going to see, during this brand split, are we going to see this done multiple times, these multiple one-person invasions?
Yeah, why not? It's been done in the past. Keeps the excitement up between both rosters.
You don't think it'll become predictable, though, if they continued?
No, well, I think they're going to have to mix it up, make it a little unsuspected, here and there at times.
But, I mean, I think they're trying to, right now, we talked about it before, we're trying to establish the different brands. I think that you should just keep them as far apart as possible. And then things like this, inter-brand feuds, I hope this kind of fizzles out. Maybe after this pay-per-view, maybe the next one. But I mean, if they're going to be doing separate ones every,
Are you saying if we keep the inner roster feuds, it'll make it interesting? Like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next week with such and such. Instead of saying,
we're saying maybe even after SummerSlam, there's a feud with New Day or the tag champs and a tag team on the other show.
Right. Okay.
You know, something like that. Who knows what they could do? But I wonder if they continue to do an interpromotional angle where they have to sell a feud between the shows, just between two guys.
Right.
It'll be tough to, you know, kind of, if you will, blow their load right away with Orton and Lesnar. It'll be tough to follow that up, but maybe they could find a story angle that the WWE Universe would give a shit about as much as this one.
Right.
And with that said, we all heard it. We all heard what the RAWESOME crew called shots fired. We all heard what they had to say. That was not us that cut the promo.
I was not here. Yeah, I was out of state.
You weren't even in town.
Yeah, I don't know where.
Yeah, I don't know who those people are.
Right.
I think Kiera had gone to bed. I went home. That fake Smarkdown work, if they called that shot fired, let me just give a couple quick statements, and then I'm going to go to my cannon. You know, sticks and stones is what we got. Well, I'm going to fire back with a pistol, and then I'm going to unleash the cannon.
Oh.
What I'm going to say quickly, they had a new kind of segment to replace their best and worst. It was like an award show. But they introed it on how it was all about the power of positivity. But the second award, where they're allowed to nominate 3 different people, is called the Debbie Downer Award. So that not very positive there. Medine did a work on you, Brian.
I didn't really appreciate it.
It was a shoot. I mean, the whole thing. I don't know about appreciation, but at least Kiera and I, Steve and Rob, our counterparts that were trying to impersonate us, did a fake voice. Medine basically said, "You were so inconsequential, I'm not even faking my voice."
He didn't have to fake the voice. I do appreciate the fact that he kind of went more of the indie route and kind of was, I guess he was, like you said, appreciating my knowledge of things outside of this WWE
You think
bubble.
that was an homage to you?
You know, in a weird, twisted way, I think it was. I think
Medine's a little jealous.
Right? That's how
Jealous
that's how I see it.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they forgot to wipe their board clean.
Right.
They have, without the 2 matches that got added tonight at SmackDown that we're going to go into it later, they had 8 matches predicted for SummerSlam already. And except for the interpromotional one and Ambrose and Ziggler, all the rest are Raw. What do they think, that they're going to take over the entire show there on SummerSlam? Like, talk about over-predicting. I know they were predicting some of those as pre-shows like Titus and Darren. But, man, we don't even have like any.
Wow.
They just went a little overboard.
Yeah.
So that's my pistol, if you will. Here's my cannon. Take it away, Patrick.
Well, it looks like we got a couple haters. You know, we had some shots fired, but I asked myself, when did the half-bright, less talented, limp dick, bleached out version of New Day figure they can fire some motherfucking shots? It's kind of like a Kinko's employee telling a Staples employee, you're not good enough. I mean, for God's sake, we're all in Rob's motherfucking man studio doing a fucking podcast. And by man studio, I mean where he does his manscaping of what we call that pussy of a face with a landing strip he calls a goatee.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's no punches being pulled today, ladies. No punches being pulled whatsoever. It's just your big daddy Patty bending you over the top rope and busting a hole in your motherfucking bootios. And you can't teach that.
Wow.
Who's up first? I'm going to pick my boy, Mundane Medine. Mundane. Oh, let's see. Got to get to the notes first.
I'm getting worried.
Yeah, you should get worried. You should. Medine is the equivalent of the ass licker on that show. He's not important enough to hold Rob's glorious cock in his mouth. So while Steve's giving Rob ferocious fellatio, Medine is anxiously waiting to give, where was it? His ringleader a rim job. I would rather get tested for chlamydia than watch Medine stammer through an attempt at an intelligent thought.
Wow.
And if you're not familiar with that test, it's where a doctor takes a Q-tip and it jams it straight into your urethra. And the pain that ensues is worse than Medine trying to talk about a match.
Shit.
Wow.
Wow.
Poor Medine.
Oh. You know, I'm done with Medine because, unfortunately, the most interesting part of him ran down his mother's chin. Now let's move on. Now let's pull Steve Awesome off his daddy Rob's dick and put him on the hot seat.
Oh, shit.
The most interesting man in the world, my ass. I don't always ruin my life, people, with drugs and alcohol. But when I do, I always pretend I'm a radio producer in Rob's basement. Or actually, I'm sorry, Rob's man sculpting studio. He looks like the illegitimate child of Ricky and Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys. You know, I would have had more material on Steve Awesome, but apparently Budweiser had the rights to his liver material, you know, so I couldn't talk about his alcoholic water pump. You might look at Steve and say that's the most that's the most burnout 65-year-old I've ever met, but in reality, he's actually just the most haggardy, worn-out 27-year-old you ever met.
Steve's only 27?
It's amazing, isn't it?
I didn't know that.
Rode hard and hung up to dry wet.
Life
over
hard.
and over and over. I still think it's amazing he's on the Wall of Fame at Bailey's.
All that means is you're an alcoholic.
I'm also on the Wall of Fame at Bailey's. It just happens to be the inside of the women's bathroom stall. Hi-yo.
Are you the before picture?
Got him.
I got him. You know, I'd like to tell Steve there is many more varieties of Bush other than Anheuser. And the one thing I can still claim bullshit on the most interesting man in the world, because the most significant thing that's come out of his mouth recently are Rob's unborn children. And Rob, please don't think I forgot about you. Roadie fucking Rob. You know, your name, basically it means you're not good enough to be a real musician, so you have to carry around the real musician shit. You know, you're not good enough to sing lead vocals with a real band.
He can do mic checks, right?
Yeah, I think so.
He's actually good enough to go to the store for a PBR and a Durex condom run. He is good for that.
Oh my God. I didn't know that was part of the roadie's job.
I mean, if you see the staff he's got, Mundane Medine and 65-year-old, burnout 27-year-old Steve. Hey, Rob.
Yeah, he's quietly, subtly listening in the background.
He absolutely is.
Always lurking.
Why did y'all have to have my back turned to him right now? We'll finish up with this.
I was hoping you never saw him. I was loving this.
Keep shooting him. Keep shooting him.
Yeah, shoot him down.
Oh, my goodness.
He brought food and didn't bring any for us. He can go to hell.
Let's see here. Where was I at? That did...
Rob walks in and you lose your place.
I did lose my place.
Here, I'll start the music.
I got your fucking pussy right here, Rob. You know what? You've been my fluffer for years. You've been getting women ready for me to actually show them what a real man looks like. I don't know if you remember that, but hey, Kiera, how you doing?
What's up?
How you doing, girl?
How you doing?
You know, I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you came in the picture when I was out of the picture, because if you had been around, he would have still been shacked up with his ex, love partner, lesbian, ex-business partner Charlie, making beautiful love children. So I'm so glad I wasn't in the picture.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
I told you I was bringing a cannon. I just didn't realize what the hell was going to come out of it.
And in closing, I would have actually spent more time, working on what I needed to say about Rob, but there was a prettier, balder pussy that I had to rough up a lot more than I needed to spend time on Rob's ugly ass. And with that, I say good night. But I will tell you this, Rob, I am a mercenary for hire, and as you can tell, I pull no punches. So all you need to do is let me know, and I will fire back at these guys.
Oh, what the fuck?
I told you he was the Heath Slater. He's trying to play both sides for a contract
Really?
here.
Hey, I'm trying
Really,
to
Pat?
I'm trying to get on the show. I'm trying to knock Medine's sorry ass off the show. I mean,
Well-
did you hear his impersonation of Brian?
Awful.
It was horrendous.
This is kind of funny, though, because, apparently what Patrick just said is that he's been getting Rob's sloppy seconds for years. So now Rob can have ours if Patrick goes over there.
All right,
There you
guys.
go.
Are you finished?
Yeah.
Flush and wipe.
I'm absolutely done. You guys have a great night.
All right. It's killing me. Killing me.
That
All
was
right.
amazing.
Well, hopefully, I wonder what the repercussions will be from that. I know Rob came in at the end of that just to check in on us.
I hope you heard
But,
a little bit of it at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be good. Let's go to this day in wrestling history. This day in wrestling history, 24 years ago today, in fact, in Baltimore, Maryland, Ron Simmons, who was better known as Farouk in the WWE, defeated your boy, Brian.
Who's that?
Big Van Vader.
Oh, my God.
To win the WCW World Heavyweight Championship. Now, the significance of this is that Simmons became the first African-American to hold the world title in wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
There is dispute because they say the first to do so was Bobo Brazil in the early 60s. Bobo, I don't know, if Steve were here, he'd remember it because it's from the 60s. But Steve was probably ringside.
Right front center.
Bobo fought Buddy Rogers and beat him, but Buddy Rogers, after the match, claimed a groin injury, so Bobo refused to accept the title. A medical exam later revealed that Rogers was faking it. The title didn't change hands. The reign ended up lasting a little over 2 months, but was not recognized by the NWA, which is why they give Ron Simmons to be the first African-American heavyweight champion.
I was always so have they had one? I mean,
they've had a lot that have held the world title,
right?
But nobody still, and Kara, correct me if I'm wrong, has held the WWE title.
Not even Bobby Lashley. That's the one.
Bobby Lashley in WWE, he only held the ECW. He's held the TNA title. He never had the world title.
I believe he's also X Division champion right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That is correct.
Yeah. Terrible work there. If you pay attention. What else happened this day?
Let's see.
You are just a waste of printer paper, like an ink.
I think I'm missing a paper.
I don't even know why I give you anything. You're missing nothing. I printed it out.
Yeah,
you don't.
I was missing this. See, I was missing this. 18 years ago today, ECW presented Heatwave '98 from the Hara Arena in Dayton, Ohio.
I had that one on DVD at one time. That was a great one.
Oof.
You had everything on DVD.
I'll just go back and just watch old ECW matches, whatever they have on the what's it called? On the network. Just throw them on. I mean, even just all the weird storylines that they had.
Oh, hell yeah.
Their production value wasn't the greatest, but
I mean, that's what made it so good, and that's kind of what, I see everyone kind of says that it's kind of almost like how NXT is, kind of just stripped down. But
it was definitely more hardcore than NXT, though.
Absolutely. But I'm saying production-wise, I mean, NXT is shot like almost like an 80s, territorial television show.
What was the card for Heatwave?
For Heatwave, let's run down. Let's see. We had Just Incredible defeated my man, who I realized is one of my favorite guys, Jerry Lynn.
Oh.
Love him.
Everybody always tells me that about Jerry Lynn, and I just never...
Really?
No.
You got to watch anything him versus RVD, and then him versus
I've seen
Just
him versus
Incredible.
a lot of guys I like and just never cared.
Right.
He never impressed me.
We had Chris Candido defeated Lance Storm. Masato Tanaka defeated Mike Awesome. Those guys had classic matches. They even did it at One Night Stand.
That was incredible.
Oh, yeah. Sabu and Rob Van Dam defeated Hayabusa, Shinsake. Hayabusa and Jinsei Shinsake to retain the ECW World Tag Team Championship. Taz defeated Bam Bam Bigelow via submission in a False Count Anywhere match to retain
forgot Bam Bam was there then.
FTW Championship. Bam Bam had a good run in ECW. The classic thing where he falls. I think that actually might be that match from where he gives him the Taz mission from behind and they go through the entrance ramp. Correct me if I'm wrong. And then we also had Tommy Dreamer, The Sandman, and Spike Dudley defeated Bubba Ray, Devon, and Big Dick Dudley.
Big Dick Dudley. What a name.
Gosh. I miss ECW.
And what else happened on this day, Kara? Is there anything else of significance?
13 years ago, Full Impact Pro Wrestling was born from the arena in St. Petersburg, Florida. And in the featured bout, Mike Awesome defeated Just Incredible and New Jack in a three-way hardcore match. Gangrel, David Young, Hector Guerrero, and who was that? Kid Romeo?
Kid Romeo. Haven't heard that in a while.
Card. Yeah. The promotion was affiliated with Ring of Honor until 2009. Today, it's affiliated with Dragon Gate USA, Evolve, and Shine as part of the World Wrestling Network.
Impressive. This day in history apparently was pretty big for Mike Awesome and who was Just Incredible. Both had
Just Incredible.
A lot of good ECW stuff.
Yeah.
Which that brings a little
Brings a little tear to your
Sparkle. No, sparkle to my eye, man.
eye. All right, so let's segue. Now do you have the numbers queued? Because now we're going to go into our 3 key ingredients of the night.
You know what? I think I do.
All right. Number 1. Cue it up. You are killing me. Oh, my God. There we go. Turn the volume up. Oh, my God. Oh. This is
remix over there.
There you go, brother.
Production value wise, we are
hey,
we are worse.
Smackdown clean. We have more of the content. We're not more of the fluff like Raw is with all the and it's all about
all
the
host,
hooplas, aka
we're
Steph
the
and
edge.
Mick. Yeah.
I liked a lot of their production value this week though, except for that open where he just seemed like he
Really?
mumbled for a
Don't
while.
do that, Adam.
What?
No. You give them no credit for it.
Okay. No credit. Sorry.
No credit.
Topic number 1 for our 3 key ingredients here is the RKO security team. Well, did you guys notice the start of the show, for those who need to be caught up real quickly and briefly, start of the show, Shane and Daniel Bryan are talking with Randy saying, that was great last night, but we're going to have repercussions. We know Brock's going to try and attack you. Randy says, bring it. We don't care. Shane and Daniel Bryan assign 10, in the end, completely fucking worthless security guards. I mean, what did you guys think of that? Yeah, security guards. For those at home, Brian just put the quotation marks up when he said security.
I just think at this point, everybody knows that it's kind of a work. It's just another, I don't know, it didn't do anything really for me, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I get their objective. They're trying to make it seem like Randy is unstoppable. He's, destructible. He's unpredictable, and he's coming out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, that's his new hashtag thing.
Yeah.
And he was out of nowhere the other night, but having the security team, I felt was like pre-shadowing.
Yeah.
To just saying we know Brock's coming back. It took away the mystery.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
We were just waiting. And also, to me, guys, it overshadowed what you guys, even when we watched it live, it was completely lost on both of you. Remember on highlight reel at Battleground, Orton threw a huge dig at Fandango. He even called him Fandango instead of even saying his name right. And that was turned into a little bit of a media hoopla on social media and became a match tonight that, of course, Brock ended up interfering.
Right.
But it could that could have been something that could have been drawn to a conclusion, and maybe then, I mean, it was almost at a conclusion. He delivered the RKO directly to the he delivered the RKO, and then couldn't get the pin because by then Brock had come in. The biggest fucking thing, I don't know if either one of you noticed, is that Brock didn't run in. He came to the side. He stood there. 2 of the 12 security guards stood there and said, Brock, go away. The other 10 never bothered to even come around and try and get in his face or anything.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that.
Only 2 of them just stood there. 2 guys just stood there. They had 12 around the ring like fucking lumberjacks, but only 2 came after him.
We've got, let's see, Joker. Only thing the security was good for was being a valet and having the vehicle waiting for him.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They did do a nice
Agreed.
job of escorting him out Red Rover style, like a moving Red Rover wall. But I mean, come on.
And then was it towards the end when who was it when Brock took off?
Yeah.
They're all just standing there like, oh, we're here. Can't do anything now. It's just kind of.
And they had. I mean, and it felt so stupid when Shane and Daniel Bryan joined them.
Right.
And Randy, I don't even know. The other repercussion, since we're still on the Randy topic here, is that afterwards he tried to get interviewed backstage, and he just pushed the microphone out of the way and stormed off like a pouty kid. At the beginning of the night, he's saying, "Bring it, Brock," and now it got brought, and he's like,
I don't know. It seems like they're trying to revamp his Viper gimmick again, but at the same time, the whole I don't know, the whole thing that's going on right now is RKO out of nowhere. So I don't know specifically or particularly where they're trying to go with this, what gimmick they're trying to push.
Well, you're a big Randy fan.
Yeah.
Do you like this work? Do you like where it's going? Do you think he's going to win against Brock?
I'm excited. Like, all the attention's on Randy. I think he has a pretty good chance with Brock. Honestly, I don't know who would take it.
I mean, I'm still not sure. I haven't looked this up. I keep saying conjecture about this. I'm not sure that they've ever not had a singles match against each other. I'm sure they've worked in tags or chambers or something. I know they've never had a rivalry, like a true storyline rivalry, but they're still avoiding the one thing, Brian, that they're avoiding to put this over that they could throw into this gimmick is they've broken kayfabe enough to say Randy got the title. Like, why has Paul not said this? Randy got the title because Vince was pissed at Brock.
Randy got the title when
his first time. Brock was the youngest champion before Orton won it.
And
and that was a big deal that he took that away from Brock after Brock left.
So just off the bat, one of the things I think
Brock left at Mania. 2 pay-per-views later is when Randy.
SummerSlam, right?
No, it was before SummerSlam. Randy lost it at SummerSlam to Hunter.
But who did he win it against?
He beat Chris Benoit.
Right. Do you think that's why they're avoiding it? Because then it links him to current storylines? Because they say, hey, who did he beat?
No, because he doesn't have to say that he beat him. They can put it on Vince. They go, the only reason you got that title is because Vince was pissed at my client. Like, Paul could say it eloquently enough. Paul is, especially with the stuff that Rawesome was mentioning about the Heyman conjecture that Brock could do whatever he wants. That stuff right there shows me that Paul Heyman could be a politician. If Paul Heyman wanted to sell this, Brian, he could sell it.
Yeah.
He to quote Tommy Boy, he could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
Right. And what was it? Sell me this pen? Is that what movie is that? Right.
What?
Sell me this pen.
That was Wolf
of Wall Street. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kiara.
One of my favorite movies.
Of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Randy, final thought, Brian, do you think he's got a chance against Brock?
I think so. I mean, he's coming back. Been away for, what was it, 9 months?
Yeah.
Right? Is that what it was? And with all the stuff that's going on with Brock, too, in the background, although WWE has come out and said that they're not going to penalize Brock because he's one of the part-timers or, he's not under a full-time contract with WWE. I don't know. I think we're not kind of past that yet. So I do think it's going to be, I think Orton's going to shine.
I don't want to open up a can of worms, but since you said that, we watched Taker look just terrible because he's old. We watched Sting get injured because he's old. We've watched Brock now pop a test for another place and not get popped here. Is the WWE's wellness policy just a piece of paper that says take care of yourself if you're a legend contract or a part-time contract?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point of, it's not very cut and dry is what I'm saying. So there's guys like Shawn Michaels or even Triple H. I mean, technically he's not on TV all the time. So is he considered a part-time wrestler, even though he's obviously one of the lifelines for the company?
It deserves more time later. It's just something that came to my mind as you were talking there, Brian.
Yeah.
Hey, but not to retort back, Adam. What you were saying about the whole Randy Orton and Brock thing, where Randy took the title because Vince was pissed off.
Well, at the time, Carrie, you knew that Randy was a future heavyweight champ. You knew that. But the reason he got put over when he did was simply so that he would now get the distinction of the youngest champ.
Right.
Which was formerly held by Brock, and I don't remember who it was formerly held by before Brock.
It was
But
Rock.
it was... no.
That was Rock. Rock.
Who did Brock win it from?
Who did Brock steal? I don't know. Brian will look it up.
Yeah.
It's a good question who he did, but the point is Brock became the youngest champ. That was a distinction that Vince wanted him to have.
Right.
So that he would be the youngest champ in history. And then
Brock
screwed him over.
This should be what it's...
They should bring this up. Paul Heyman, who says he can do whatever he wants, and tonight was basically going completely, creative as much as he wanted. He could have brought it up. He could have said something. One of his other clients was CM Punk. He knows about pipe bombs. He could say whatever he wants. I'm surprised, and he could keep. I could see where Brian and Paul Heyman has a little more class than that. not bringing up that he won it from Chris Benoit. But he could say that the only reason he won it is because Vince was pissed at his client, and that's why he called Randy's number. You don't have to mention Benoit at all.
I could see Paul slyly throwing that in there, and I agree with you. I don't see why this has been addressed some kind of way.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to listen to what Paul says.
2.
That shit
That
was
is
real.
not what I meant. I said,
Brian's
listen,
on it tonight.
I said, listen to what Paul says, and you cue up the wrong sound effect again.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that part.
You're not. You pay no. You're just like Rob over there,
'cause you're
not
shooting
paying
from-
any fucking attention.
You're shooting from the hip, man.
Oh.
I need you back here. Yeah, and I'm talking to fans.
All right.
I got a lot going on.
Wait, so are people chiming in and you're not telling me?
No, I am.
Well, I haven't heard anything. If the fans are interacting and you're the only one interacting back, that's not really interaction because you haven't said shit and you're not paying attention.
Do you want to read it yourself, man?
No, I want you to read it so that you're actually talking for something. Kiera and I over here are holding up your jock, it seems.
No, what are you talking about? No,
You're not. What are you saying?
Give him the hey, brother.
Talk.
What do you want to talk about, man? I'm here.
Just play the number 2 again.
Do you want to hear it again?
Fuck you.
2.
Shit's so loud.
All right, number 2.
You can turn it down on your thing.
No, it's good. It's good. It's just, it's like in your face. Like
Number 2, Apollo Rising. We got a new number 1 contender tonight for the IC title against Miz. They did a triple threat new era. I could give 2 shits about the other 2 competitors, Kalisto and Baron Corbin. So I was glad to see Apollo win. Last week, Apollo gets a huge pop, winning the Battle Royal. He gets a pop at the 3 count that he did earn in the 6-pack challenge, even though the ref was knocked out there. Is this, and I pose the question to both of you, is this basically because he got such a great pop that they're putting him over? Is this specifically on how well he did in the pop test? That was last week's show. Last week's show was a pop test, and he passed in my mind.
I'll give Apollo a little more credit than that. I think what's happening is, and this is what I feared, but I'm glad that it's turning out to be the opposite. My fear was with Apollo being drafted onto SmackDown and with all this other talent that maybe they weren't going to shine or prosper that well. And I thought that Apollo was going to be shadowed out by, someone like Cena or Ziggler.
Well,
but
that's
my
what
point
I'm saying,
is,
Kara. I thought so too, but he got such a pop last week that maybe they gave him this because of that.
well, I think that's just the add-on. I think that's just the sub add-on. But I think just generally with Apollo doing so great like he did before the whole draft took place, I think they want to give him an opportunity, a shot. They're giving, like, briefly to just touch on Raw's roster, Finn is a little bit bigger. His character's a little bit bigger than Apollo, but they're giving, like, a lot of the newbies, like, a chance to shine.
Well,
why not give Apollo his...
Apollo's getting a mid-card
He
push.
deserves it, though.
Yeah, they're giving him a push.
He does deserve it, but, I mean, if he's going to lose... let's face it, is he going to lose to Miz?
No, I
mean,
think they're going to give it to him.
Well, because one of the things that concerns me tonight is Apollo wins, he celebrates, he walks out of the ring, Baron starts beating on Kalisto, so he runs back, and then Miz gets involved, and Baron clears the ring and decimates everybody. Like, I just think Apollo, I'm wondering if they're going to make, because of that, his character be somebody comes down and he tries to save... Miz goes after a fan and he tries to save him, so he gets fucking schoolboyed or some bullshit like that. Or Maurice tries to do something to distract him. Like, I feel a screw job ending for Apollo at SummerSlam coming.
I disagree. I think that he's going to be, especially with what they're doing for the past 2 weeks now since we've been having this, is that they're going to keep pushing these guys. And he is one of the guys that can kind of lead this brand, although maybe not the forefront. He's definitely one of the guys that kind of... He's going to be pulling his weight as far as it goes wrestling-wise.
No, I agree. I don't think they're going to screw him over.
He's got the talent. There's no question about that. He's got the talent.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go on to number 3. Number 3. This is a big one, guys.
Let's hear it.
I think if they are trying to take a test, a litmus test, whatever kind of test you want for SmackDown and Raw. Now, I get that Raw got 2/3 of the entire WWE roster, and SmackDown only got 1/3. But if they are trying to compete side by side and make SmackDown relevant, they are failing. I know it's only 2 weeks in, but in 2 weeks, we have not seen the champ wrestle on SmackDown. On Raw, we've seen the number one contender Finn in a ton of matches. We've seen Rollins in a bunch of matches. He was in the main event last night against Sammy and had a great match. We got Dean on commentary again. Why did they leave the champ there if he's not going to wrestle? Number 2 problem with SmackDown. We now had 5 matches. I don't even know if you want to call them 5 matches because 2 of them were no contest that never started, and one of them was a DQ because of Brock's interference. So you really only had the triple threat for the number one contender for the IC, and you had Orton versus Fandango, and then you had Bray versus Dolph in the main event.
Yep.
That is all you had. Now, I get the only thing I like that SmackDown did right was what I just said, Bray versus Dolph. Try and give Dolph a little more legitimacy at the number one contender. But at the same time, and here's where I want you guys to chime in.
Sure.
This is the same old shit. Bray Wyatt loses a match, and Rowan comes down to the ring, and they just start beating the guy who just beat Bray senseless.
Yeah, history is starting to repeat itself.
Yeah. So the one thing that they seemingly did right, Brian, turns into a clusterfuck.
Right. I don't know. I mean, I was saying to you guys while we were watching, I mean, it's just kind of the same old, nothing really kind of popping out like what we had yesterday with, I'm not saying it has to happen every night, but nothing memorable happened tonight.
Well, and I'm talking about the same old, which is what it feels like
exactly.
here. Raw is getting new stuff. They've got Finn against Seth. That's new to the WWE Universe. I know they had a couple, whatever, on NXT. I get that. Run-ins, whatever you want to call them. They're getting Gallows and Anderson against New Day, and they have a belt to fight over. They're getting a Sasha-Charlotte rivalry. I can't even believe I mentioned Divas, but they are killing it. Raw is just killing it against SmackDown. SmackDown has nothing to vie for outside that top belt and the IC, and Miz, again, has not wrestled, and Dean has not wrestled. So in 2 weeks, their only 2 champions have not set foot in a ring. Do you guys not see a problem with that?
I'll address the champion. What competition does he have for SmackDown?
He's got some legitimate. That's the other problem. They're rehashing AJ and Cena now for a 3rd month.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You failed to mention that those 2 and those guys are going to be there as much as you might love it or hate it. They're going to be there in the picture.
Okay.
But we don't want to see Cena in the title
Flashback to September, October timeframe. As soon as Dean got done losing his matches against Seth Rollins and trying to fight there, he started fighting for the Intercontinental title with on and off again, Ziggles and KO all the way through. So we have seen Ambrose versus Ziggles. They fought for the IC title, 10 months ago, 9 months ago. So we've seen it. And now the new era, SmackDown trying to compete with Raw. That's what we get for our main event. And on the other side is Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. Yeah, it's the stupidest fucking name for a title ever. But come on, if you're talking about excitement, and I'm covering SmackDown and I'm dogging it because it just what happened to the new era?
I know I want to like it, but it's
and here's where I really hope that I can get you guys to chime in something here. Okay? The two-face GM commissioner, whatever the fuck you want to call Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, is not working.
I agree. I agree with that.
How so?
Dolph Ziggler tonight just said, they're like, Dolph, why are you doing this? Why are you putting your number one contender on the line? And he just said, I'll do what I want. And because of their characters, neither one of them could be stern with him. They both went, and Dolph Ziggler walked out.
I think Shane could be stern, but Daniel Bryan, I honestly think that he doesn't know what character he's supposed to play. I mean, he still wants to get a pop for himself because, early retired guy, still wants to get some type of fame, some type of cheap pops here and there. So
I think they're still trying. They're still trying to figure out what their role is. I mean, this is still very new, having two people kind of be on the same side of the fight.
But look at Mick and look at Stephanie. Mick comes out there.
They're kind of doing the same thing, though. I mean, they're still kind of. They haven't done anything
look at last night's
deceitful.
episode. Sorry, I don't mean to.
But
good.
Mick and Stephanie have played off of each other where they haven't just, excuse the phrase, jerked each other's off.
Sure.
That's what it feels like with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon. They're like, oh, good job, Shane. Oh, good job, Daniel. Let's go circle jerk in the corner.
Look at the role that Mick played last night when he came out and made the tag team match with Sasha and Enzo.
Right.
Stephanie wasn't there for that. Mick played his role. I don't see that with Daniel Bryan. Daniel, he's always Shane McMahon's sidekick.
And they also said, especially Daniel Bryan, I mean, he also said that he didn't want it to be about him. He wanted it to be about the wrestling, and I'm okay with that. I don't really want to see him in every other segment.
There were legit good matches tonight. Bray and Dolph had a good match.
Mm-hmm.
They just did. American Alpha, Vaudevillains, they had a good match. And the triple threat, although Kalisto and Baron Corbin can't really go, they did the best they could with those three guys in a non-showcase environment. So technically, it was decent. It was just the promos were so bad. I can't defend SmackDown if you compare them against Raw. Right now, I don't feel that I could defend SmackDown if we went head-to-head with NXT, and NXT has been gutted recently. And I still don't think, I think that would be a better discussion to try and go in.
So something that I can kind of relate. Brennan Bread says that Bray has been one of the worst booked superstars ever. Can you imagine Taker even being booked like he was in his first few years?
Well,
his run would be been over by 96.
Yeah, Brennan.
That's interesting.
Taker, if Taker had gotten booked the way Bray Wyatt would be, nobody would care about Taker. Taker would not be a Hall of Fame legend. Taker would be released like he was from WCW because that's the kind of bookings that they gave him.
Yeah.
So, Brennan, your argument is made by WCW. They didn't book him and got rid of him. WWE booked him right and made a star. Bray Wyatt, I said this so many times on this podcast, guys, that I hoped brand split that Bray Wyatt would get something.
Yeah.
2 weeks in a row, he's got nothing. He got to wrestle. He looked good tonight, but even the sore loser routine I'm done with.
When is it time to panic, though? I mean, still we're only 2 weeks into this. I mean, they still could kind of go different directions and kind of hopefully surprise us.
Again, I don't know if I'm hitting the panic button or heading for the lifeboats.
Yeah.
But I am counting the days till
there's cause for concern for sure.
Till we're back together at SummerSlam, and I discuss with Rob like, hey, maybe you want to cover a couple Smarkdowns because SmackDown's just turning into a pile of steaming shit each week as Raw seems to be rolling uphill.
But we're going to bring you excellent content.
Oh yeah,
every week, regardless.
I'd much rather be in your company covering a bad show. I would just also much rather cover a good show.
Right.
So
we're all in it to win it. Well, we'll see. It's week number 2.
Week number 2. It's going to take us to our best and worst. This is so tough. I used to love this kind of segment when we were covering Raw because there was enough to choose from. Did you guys know Raw had 9 matches? We had 5, 2 of which were no contest and 1 was a DQ. Just, oh, God, you got to be kidding me. We're going to start off with Kiera, and we're going to start off with our first one. Who won tonight? Who was the show winner?
I went with Apollo Crews. He was my guy for tonight. He's just been showcasing and
and I heard you earlier. You think he's got a shot to beat Miz?
Yeah, I honestly do. I don't think they would push him this far just to. I don't think it'll be a Bray Wyatt screw job thing. I'm not, and I hate to what is that? What is it called? Shots fired.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
I don't mean to do that with Bray, but I think they've got some. I can't get my words together right now.
I have no problem
You get my point, though.
I have no problem with Apollo being your winner tonight. I have no problem with that. I think that's a good pick. But my worry is that he is going to be just like Darren Young.
No.
I think he's going to get that same level pop.
I
or
totally
same
disagree.
level push. I just think so. Brian, what do we got coming through?
Let's see. Joker, question for the panel. If they get a chance, where do you see the women's division going at SmackDown? Because I personally think they are falling to the side.
All right, Joker. I don't know if you've listened to me much. I hate the Divas so much so that we only talk about them in a segment called "Make Me Care" that we'll get to in a little bit. So we'll get there in a second, Joker. But there's an intentional oversight by me.
I'm going to cover that, Joker.
Yeah, there's an intentional oversight by me.
Let's see. Then we got
Jay Dizzle joined us.
Jay Dizzle. Let's see.
He was on last week with us. Him and Joker.
Can't touch the Boss Enzo Charlotte promo from last night.
Oh, well,
yeah.
He brought up a good point there.
Oh, and that's the other thing. You know, since Jay Dizzle's going to bring it up, every fucking promo on Raw was so good last night.
Yeah.
Versus every fucking promo on the show tonight was terrible.
Or lack thereof.
I hated Renee Young doing interviews at the table.
What I don't know what the hell was that.
Instead of even Dean was like, I don't want to sit here. Let me stand up. We gotta stand
was
up
that
for
like
listeners.
just an impromptu? Was that like last minute idea to like just throw in there? Because it didn't look rehearsed at all.
I definitely didn't like it. Let's see. What else are these guys saying?
Ryan, are you literate? Did I put someone reading these that can't even read?
No, because I have one of the producers. I'll say is kind of he's throwing shit at me, trying to get my attention. Let's see.
Distract.
You're the producer tonight, you jackass. There is nobody
Hey,
else.
people don't have to know that, brother.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, we got some stuff coming in.
So who?
Dizzle says, "Can you make any more fucking excuses?" Adam specifically. Bitch.
About SmackDown.
About SmackDown sucking? What? I'm not making excuses. I'm trying to tell you that they suck. There is no way to make an excuse for SmackDown. Oh, well, I guess maybe
We're only 2 weeks into it though.
In fairness, maybe Jay Dizzle's talking about me saying, that they only get a third of the roster and they got a 2-hour show and they're only putting on 5 matches. But that's circumstantial. If they wanted, they could cut all the bullshit promos that they did tonight out. They could cut them all out. And they might be able to put up a better product. The bottom line is they're creative on SmackDown. Whoever is in charge of that is
That's what I was
not
gonna ask
creative.
Before. Do we know who's in charge of each show yet?
No, because I would go egg their house.
Jesus.
Brian, who's your show winner?
My show winner would have to be Apollo Crews. Him having a chance to kind of get that shine and be one of the contenders for the IC belt. Incredible. Awesome stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
My show winner is Dolph Ziggler.
Let's hear it. Yeah? Why?
The reason I like Dolph Ziggler tonight, he told off basically the GM of the show.
Right.
He told off the commissioner, whatever the hell they're calling it, off the show. And then he went out and beat Bray Wyatt and defended and kind of proved his critics wrong. I really expected him to lose tonight. I really expected there to be some revolt and creative decided to pull the plug and put Bray in his place. I don't know. I was just shocked. So Dolph Ziggler, kudos to you. You're my winner.
Looks like Dolph is rebelling a little bit.
Yeah, and he's always his handler on Twitter. Or his handle on Twitter is heel Ziggler. So
oh yeah.
I mean, maybe
He
he's
goes
just
all
going
in
a
there.
little more heel because right now Ambrose Ziggler face, and it seems like next week they're going to be tag team partners against the Wyatts. I guarantee that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be surprised. I'm going to start show loser here and tell you who lost. Who lost? If these were legit fucking security guards, who lost? The WWE security guards. The guys on the other side not coming to aid. Every one of them would be fired if they were real and not.
You think so?
Oh yeah. If that was a legit security company and they let the guy break their barricade and get to the star, imagine. Come on. If Orton if that was private security hired by Orton and he got attacked, he's firing every one of them.
How much experience do you think those guys have as far as security purposes?
They weren't real security guards, but I'm saying
you don't think
if
so?
they were,
right?
Oh no.
No, I'm not stupid. I know they're not real.
I
I'm saying
know.
if they were, they would be fired.
Right.
Who's your loser?
My loser would have to be Baron Corbin.
Oh.
Kind of getting lost in the shuffle in that match. I'm glad that Apollo Crews won. However, I don't like the fact that Baron Corbin is one of the guys that kind of is on the losing end of it. So Baron Corbin.
He was last man standing, so to speak. Even Miz was on the ground at the end.
Yeah, that's true. But, I mean, he's one of the guys that he's definitely one of the younger guys. And he was even kind of getting lost in the shuffle even before they did the brand split. So I think I hope it's not more of the same.
The only time he's come to the top of the deck, if you ask me, was the Andre
Right.
Memorial Battle Royal
Yep,
at Maine.
that was it.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Yeah, so did everybody else.
Right.
Kiera.
My loser was Baron Corbin as well.
You guys are just in sync tonight.
Simply because Baron Corbin has been very unnoticeable to me lately, and actually for the last couple of weeks. So that's just my main reason for my loser tonight.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but he was the runner-up in the Battle Royal last week, and he was the loser here, so makes sense. My best promo or video package tonight is our next one on the list, is Ziggler. He, like I said earlier, he pretty much said screw you to Shane and Daniel Bryan as he walked past them, and they're both faces, so they couldn't say anything. They really, there was nothing that they could do unless they broke character. So, Brian, what do you got for your best promo, best package?
Best promo, I really like the exchange that AJ and Cena had, even though I know it's something that's kind of been recycled for the past few weeks, months, maybe. It's still, I love watching those two guys kind of go back and forth.
I don't think it was bad. I'm not saying you're wrong. It was a decent thing. But for me to care for another 3 weeks about a 7-week-old storyline rivalry feud.
Right.
One promo ain't gonna get it for me. Give me a match. I don't care if it's a tag match and you throw two other guys. I don't care. Give me something to build on. Put AJ at commentary in the Attack Cena post match. Something other than promo battles with John Cena. I've seen it.
So what do you think? What can they do?
Wrestle. It's a fucking wrestling show. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? What can they do?
I don't know, man.
It's very simple.
Well,
we have all seen 15 years of John Cena cutting the promo he cut tonight. Yeah, tonight he talked about being in love with wrestling. Who the fuck cares? Every other thing, the iambic pentameter of his voice, every other part of the promo was the same shit.
Well, we just went down that road with them, though, AJ and Cena.
Right, and AJ started off the promos talking about beating John Cena. What do? I beat John Cena. I mean,
that's
come
been pretty
on.
catchy.
And
promos.
And the gimmick tonight, Brian, AJ saying he wants him out of here. Cena's not leaving anytime soon. So that was a stupid thing to bring up.
I like that Cena's around, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I disagree with you. If I was giving out points, if those mattered, you wouldn't get any.
Yeah, no points.
Kiera.
I had AJ Cena promo segment as well, and it ran longer than I expected.
That's why it sucked.
It wasn't bad to me. Not at all.
This is where the other crew would say you call me a jackass or something.
Right? We don't have that on this show, though. That's why.
Oh, right. Yeah, we get along. I forget. Yeah. So is
As
that
hard as
your
it
only
is.
argument? Brian at least tried to make a case to sway me. Is that your only argument?
Well, the second midway through, I stepped out of the room and then I came back and I'm like, oh,
and it was
we're
still going.
here. Yeah, and it was still interesting. So.
Well, that's because you missed the bulk of it. Maybe that's why you think it was interesting.
Wow.
All right, we're botch, stumble, miss. Let's go with Kiera on this one. Let's see.
Botch, stumble, miss.
What was one you noticed tonight? What was one that didn't hit the mark? What was something you just something?
Okay, I'm just gonna throw this in here, and it may be for like the wrong segment of best worst, but I'm gonna go with the Eva Marie non-compete match with Becky Lynch. Did I fuck it up? Did I do it wrong again?
No.
No.
Anytime anybody brings up divas, I can't help but shake my head in disgust.
I know that it was a work. Eva Marie pulling at her hamstring, saying that she hurt herself jumping down from the turnbuckle, but it was just so horrible. It was so horrible for a moment. I thought she was actually hurt. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here?
Yeah,
And
I don't
I'm
think
like,
she
is
was
she
that
really,
good of an actor. When you were
that
sitting
was
on the
horrible.
couch thinking it was real, I was like, this is a work. The
Yeah,
girl
like-
can't wrestle.
That's how horrible. I'm like, is she supposed to be acting
Well,
like? It reversed my thoughts.
And by the way, I have to hear this from Rob all the time. Now that we aren't covering Raw, he's like, no, now the Divas division is great. They're doing the Sasha Charlotte feud finally, and it's real wrestling and everything you would like. And I'm not watching that damn show. I'm watching Shitville as far as Divas go. Anyway, Brian, what do you got for botch, stumble, miss?
Mine would have to be miss, and that was during the Natalia and Carmella exchange. I know we've kind of been harsh on Natty on this show and on those guys
She's
on
been
Raw,
carrying
too.
the division for 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, even I want to
Did you hear
like
her say that shit tonight?
What was said?
She said she's been carrying the Divas division for 10 years.
Who said
She's
that?
been there. She's been in the picture.
Natty.
And we can't take anything away from her.
Yeah.
She's a great wrestler. But
Oh,
for
she's
whatever
paid
reason,
her dues.
yeah, it just I don't know. It doesn't translate. There's some people just just doesn't happen.
God,
I don't want to give up on her. I love her, and I'm not saying that like that. Rob, don't look up.
Anyway, my biggest botch, stumble, miss, whatever of the night is, it's very simple. 2 weeks, 2 shows, no champions wrestle. Miz and Dean have not been involved. Very simple. I'm going to go on to my shocking match ending. To me, Bray not winning tonight was a shocker to me because I'm like, I wrote down on my sheet, yet this is an impossible booking.
Sure.
Because Ziggles loses and he's pushed back down for whatever you did last week is completely undone and probably more damaging to push him back down. And Bray losing again is pushing him down. So the whole thing is just like it was an impossible booking and Bray came out on the losing end. And I just was shocked that he didn't win because I thought maybe since Ziggles has had pushes that they would finally give Bray one. But I guess I was wrong. What do you got for shocking match ending, Kier?
I believe I had the same thing. Dolph winning.
You believe you have it or you do have it?
I have it. I was like half the time writing, so I was like in and out listening to you. I had my ear was listening. Anyway, Dolph winning and pretty much like you said, Bray taking another L. It's just
I don't have the
It's not even shocking at this point, but it's kind of disappointing.
We've got in the chat Joker saying Carmella fixing her hair while in the sharpshooter.
Really?
Great sell.
That is Joker. That is a great point.
Come on, Joker.
Stuff like that.
Don't-
That really
I
grinds my
tune
Don't
out.
get on my divas like
I can't
that.
help it. I get ADD when the divas are on, but that kind of is fitting with Carmella's character.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at?
Shocking match ending.
Shocking
Did you tell
match.
us yours?
Yeah. Eva Marie. I'm not the biggest fan of hers.
That wasn't even a match, but go on.
Well, it was a scheduled match, but
Okay.
technically it didn't happen. And I kind of like that. I
Like your
mentioned it
date with
before.
Emma?
Get out of here. That I like that it didn't happen because that's kind of WWE. They're aware. They're self-aware. You know what I mean? They're kind of poking fun at the fact that we don't want to see her wrestle, and they know that, so they're just kind of shoving her in front of us and then just pulling it away. And
Like sending Jericho out to talk for Charlotte.
sure, yeah, that can relate.
Instead of because I thought just like the Bray Dolph thing, I thought that was kind of an impossible booking because if Eva Marie debuts, sucks, and loses to Becky, that's over for her, and if Becky loses to Eva Marie, that's even worse. So. Let's go on. Work of the night. We're going to go back to Brian for this one.
Then I'm going to have to go back to Eva Marie. I just really like that segment.
She sold you?
Yeah, she did. And trust me, I'm just like you guys. I don't really want to kind of be a fan of hers. But hey, man, what did she say? Everything red? Is that everything? And who's the announcer for when she comes out?
That's Greg Hamilton from NXT.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's
Is that
the
the
NXT
same one
announcer.
who does the vaudevillains?
It always throws me off. I'm like, who?
I love that guy. I'm so glad that they have him on SmackDown. I think he's permanent now.
All right. Good for him.
Yep.
Well, she won't be,
guy.
so he might be out of a job soon.
Yeah, right.
I hope not.
All right, Kiara, what do you got?
Actually, I'm going to be honest. I didn't have a work of the night. Really didn't see anything that stood out to me. But I'm going to agree with Brian. The Eva Marie whole hamstring pull, that really got me. So I'm going to pick that for my work of the night. She really got me there.
All right. My work of the night is Heath Slater. Heath Slater, everyone. Let me just tell you right now, if you don't count the invasions of Orton and Brock Lesnar, Heath Slater is the only wrestler on both rosters. Not officially on either, but he has been getting more airtime on both shows than guys that were actually drafted to those shows. Do you realize this? Heath Slater's on twice a week. The only guy we see that gets TV time twice a week.
Who would have thunk?
Right? He's being slick about it.
So do we have something chiming in? What are you laughing about reading over there?
Someone's kind of giving me crap about liking Eva Marie.
Yeah. Good. Whoever that is.
Who's that?
Who is it? Please tell me.
Let's see. We have Brennan Bread. Eva Marie had the best match of her life tonight.
Yes. Brennan, right now, I don't know you. This is the first time I think I've seen your name on the list. But
and then it looks like we have a hacker kind of going in our chat from our login.
You were just, that's got to be Rob fucking around.
Well, guys, did you hear Brian get excited? Brian and Eva sitting in a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, if that's the case, then you guys,
Brendan,
50
I agree
feet or
with you.
50 yards, I don't know. You guys just stay away.
Brendan, you're very smart and wise. You remind me of myself. So, technical match of the night. Most people probably avoided it. Most people probably didn't pay attention to it, but the Vaudevillains and American Alpha
Adam.
are the ones that got mine tonight. They put on a good match. I was sad to see Vaudevillains get squashed. You knew American Alpha was going to win their debut, but good match. Good match. What do you got, Kiera?
I second that. American Alpha and Vaudevillains. I had been waiting for this since last week, and I was very pleased with it. So that's my my technical match of the night.
Big Bri.
I would have to go with Bray and Dolph. That stood out to me. Storyline aside, just having those two guys in the ring go against each other.
And ending aside.
Right, and ending aside. I mean, those guys are great at what they do.
That was a pretty decent match.
All right, what was your sloppy match of the night, Brian?
Not
a lot to choose from, but actually there was.
Right. Well, that wasn't a match. I'll just give a shout out to Becky Lynch. I just feel like she was pushed to the moon. And let's see. Let's go back to the chat. Let's see. Brian, Bray, and Dolph sitting in a tree. Whoever that hacker is, I mean, they're really. We got to boost up our.
What the hell?
We got to boost the security.
Our security, yeah.
My sloppy
Cyber
match
walls.
of the night was not technically a match. It's Eva Marie.
You should have known.
Yeah, sorry. What do you got here?
I didn't have a sloppy match of the night. I just couldn't pick one, so I guess I'd take an L for that one.
All right. Well, that is our best worst. That is the shit that SmackDown gave us this week. Let's hope. I'm not jumping in the lifeboat, Brian, but let's hope that we get better next week.
Yeah.
Make a good lucha thing. God damn! Where's the spirit?
Where's the prayers, the training, and the vitamins?
This is our CWC segment. Brian, we got the final part of round one coming up of the CWC.
Right on.
The first match is TJ Perkins versus D.A. Mack.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Mustafa Ali and Lince Dorado. Johnny Gargano.
Lince Dorado.
Well, I've never heard any of these fucks. You know that. Then we got Johnny Gargano versus Tommy Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Whatever. And Rick Swann versus Jason Lee. I can get those fucking
Rick
two.
Swann. His name is
Rich Swann. What the hell?
I thought I could even get that one right.
Oh my god.
This is your fucking segment. You take over. I never heard of these fucks.
All right. So I guess.
Yes. With that said, what I have watched on the network has been very good.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I guess going right into it, TJ Perkins and DeMac, if they're going to keep booking it how they have been so far, what is this, the fourth week?
This is the final.
Already?
This is the final opening round.
I've got TJ Perkins going over in that one. He's one of the guys that I would not be surprised after all of this is said and done. He's going to be one of the guys that's going to be coming up every Monday in that cruiserweight division. And then Mustafa Ali and Lince Dorado. Dorado, another guy. He's
Mustafa Ali sounds familiar to me. Is that
I
just
don't know
because
that much
he's
about Mustafa.
got a generic?
Dorado I know was he's a Mexican wrestler, and I believe I want to say who was it? Who was the small? Not Hornswoggle. Who was the other guy with Epicone?
El
Primo?
Torito.
El Torito.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. He wrestled with him down in Mexico, so.
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
But he's another guy. I think that after all this whole tournament, I don't know, they're definitely going to be taking a bunch of guys from this. Obviously, this is working.
I hope that they're not giving stuff away by these signings. Like these are the guys advancing. I hope because I know this is taped.
Yeah, it's all taped, and I stay in line, and I don't want to watch. I don't want to know any of the outcomes before I sit down on my to watch it. So yeah, I'm gonna have Lince Dorado going over with that one. However, with that said, I know he was one of the guys that they did offer a contract to. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso. He wrote Tommy Ciampa.
What the?
All right.
I just
have some
what
respect.
I'm writing.
No, it's all right. This is an interesting one because these guys have been in
these names are
butchering these names.
These guys have been in NXT for a few months now. Actually, even longer than that. Tagging together. So I'm going to have to go with Gargano. Just his style, I could see him kind of going, not quite.
I don't know
making it.
Know that much about
have
him.
you ever seen any of his work before? No,
I've heard you mention him.
Oh yeah, and then we've got Rich Swann versus Jason Lee. Rich Swann, another one of those guys who he's definitely been on the WWE radar for the past.
Well, he does
one of our developmental guys went against him.
Oh yeah.
One of the guys we know down in developmental.
Good training match there.
Let's see, Joker. I'd rather watch 2 hours of the CWC than SmackDown at this point.
Can't agree more, Joker.
Who said that?
I am getting excited. I'm getting more and more excited for Wednesday nights when I get to watch 1 hour of NXT and 1 hour of CWC. Yeah. Those 2 hours right now are better than SmackDown. So
the hacker. This we got to get this guy out of here.
All right, so guys, here is your opportunity. We had 2 no contest matches tonight. Eva Marie not actually wrestling Becky, and the other one, Carmella getting attacked by Natty before the match could begin. And again, no title. And we had a terrible promo backstage with Renee Young between Natty and Carmella. How you guys? This will be a challenge. This was a big thing that RAWESOME picked on us for in their little promo segment.
Yeah, that was great.
Make me care, guys.
All right, okay.
Try it this week.
All right, I got this.
You got this. Sell me.
All right.
I want to buy.
So here's the deal. There's nothing wrong with majority of the women's roster. The thing is, on SmackDown...
The thing is, they're all on Raw?
No, they're all on Raw. That's what I was going to say. They're all on Raw, and you have a lack of the women, especially the new women that have just come to the main roster, i.e. Carmella.
Who's more worried about her hair than anything else?
Let's go through the SmackDown. Let's go through the SmackDown women. Who do we have?
SmackDown women. We've got Carmella,
Eva Marie,
Woof,
Alexa Bliss.
Woof. Who else is there?
And I'm not talking about looks. I'm talking about abilities.
No, not at all. All of these women have come from NXT. Besides Eva Marie was retrained by Brian Kendrick. The woman can actually wrestle. She's actually pretty decent now.
She showcased that tonight. She definitely showcased that tonight.
She's actually, I'm not going to say pretty decent, but she can hold her own in the ring now. She's not like before. And
she couldn't even hold her own in an intro.
No, you just haven't taken your time to actually watch Eva Marie. And the thing is, you weren't really watching NXT when Eva Marie was revamped.
I think if we're talking about the next diva to be on the cover of Playboy, then Eva Marie's my girl.
I'm not going to spend that much time on Eva Marie. That's a separate subject.
All right, well, what else you got?
Carmella.
That's a big fail.
She was like a part of one of the biggest factions in NXT. Big Cass and Enzo.
And her attempts at standing alone right now have been next to nothing.
Now, when she was in NXT, she had epic matches with Bayley. Who else? Alexa Bliss. All those girls, all those NXT girls, they're all talented. They all can wrestle.
You can't make me care about the Divas division by using management as an excuse. Oh, all the good ones are on Raw. Yes, you just said that all the good ones are on Raw. Okay. You can't use that as an excuse. Management is already, this is done. This is set in stone. These are the fucking divas we got on the show. We got Natty. We got Carmella. We got Alexis Bliss. You ran down the list. Why should anyone, audience-wise or myself, give a damn? There's no title and there's no talent.
Doesn't matter. There's talent.
But what about if they introduce another title? Will that do anything for you? Or
where's the talent?
Right.
Still, where's the talent?
So you agree?
No, I don't want them to have a belt.
You got a bunch of escorts on a show.
That's not true. Did you ever watch when Alexa Bliss, Carmella, all those divas?
Alexa Bliss. She escorted a tag team.
No, she had her
Carmella, she escorted a tag team. What else you got?
She had her own singles matches in NXT, just like Carmella. They all had incredible matches. They're all talented. These females can actually wrestle.
You know what?
And now, this is the problem. The problem is creative doesn't know how to write. They don't know how to write these stories for SmackDown for these divas. That's the problem.
Well,
once they get once they get their storylines together for these divas, then you can actually see the talent that can be showcased with these women.
I have a diva for you.
What's up?
We got Brock back. Come on, why not?
Is that the Cat's theme?
She can just come on the road.
You're so dumb. Cat was with Lawler Sable's the one that's married to
Sable.
Sable.
Yeah, Sable. Okay, I'm sorry.
What about her?
Okay, first off,
Oh, she's
guys,
a fucking beast.
here's how I'm going
But
to end this
she's-
segment. I'm going to end it simply. When you're talking about creative, you guys have no creative arguments. I am potentially, I'm threatening this. I'm not saying I'm going to go through this. I just so I can get some counterpoint, and somebody try and make a good argument for this damn division. I might have to invite Roadie next week to make this segment pop, because you guys, I didn't even. If I was on the ledge ready to jump, you did nothing to keep me here.
But there's
No,
they're
you
not
j-
get. They're
You
they're
guys
not-
started with Eva Marie as part of your
Hey,
argument.
I
for
work
God's
with the
sake.
tools that are giving to me, and they're not giving me anything.
So again, we're gonna put
No, I'm just-
management on the line.
I'm just like I'm let down at them because it's just unfortunate that you don't see the talent that they're.
There was
that
two
is-
no
that
no
there's there
contest
for the-
matches tonight.
Besides, we know that majority of
One hurt
the
herself
divas.
in her
Wait,
intro.
let me
The
finish,
other got
let me
attacked in her
finish.
intro.
Hashtag Kanye. We know that majority of the divas, the talent for the divas is on Raw. You still got Alexa Bliss, you still got Carmella. Those girls are good.
Brian,
They're
was
really
it Joker
good.
earlier talking about making excuses? Where's Joker got my back now with Kiera making fucking
Carmella
excuses?
Let's make
went
some
against Bayley.
Oh,
for the-
here comes
let's
Rob.
make some fucking radio history here. How about that shit?
Oh my gosh.
I'm gonna jump in here, and I'm only gonna be here for a second, then I'll back the fuck out.
All right, Rob, make me care. Make me care.
I'm listening to you, and I'm being disgusted. First off, management is a problem. Management's a problem because on Raw you have Stephanie McMahon, you have Mick Foley, and you have Triple H doing most of the muscle work behind the scenes there. Those three are the biggest proponents of the women's division in wrestling right now, right? They are pushing it harder than any three other people there are. So SmackDown is at a disadvantage because of that simple note right there. But to back up Kiera's claim here, talking about Alexa Bliss and Carmella, you call Alexa Bliss a valet. I say Alexa Bliss was a wonderful heel with great in-ring skills that never had a true challenger, a true feud when she was in NXT.
Right, it was very short-lived.
So now on SmackDown, who's her true challenger? Because she's not. It looks right now that the four women who are being showcased are Natty, are Eva Marie,
And it's
are
fucking
Becky.
dumb. That's why I said creative.
Okay, no, okay, I got you right here. You're right. Becky Lynch had some of the most awesome fucking matches in NXT.
And
right?
she can go. I feel
can go.
she has
Yeah.
no rival.
Natty's garbage. Put Natty out of the equation.
Who
Natty's
could
garbage.
go? You're saying Alexa Bliss could go with Becky?
I do.
Aren't they
Hell
both
yeah.
faces?
Absolutely. I think Carmella could go with Becky too. If she, Carmella is a fucking in-ring worker, she can do it. The problem is they got
Yeah.
this goofy fucking Enzo Cass gimmick on her with the Queen of the Princess of Staten Island and all that shit. You bring her out hard, get the fucking goofy fucking Jersey Shore girl out of her, and let her work. She can work in the ring.
Don't forget. She's had several singles matches in NXT
Right.
while the faction was still going with Enzo and Cass.
She is, you're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
She still had those going on.
So she's bad.
She's held her own for a long time.
And you know
Now,
what? Let me just say this.
I'm not discounting what either one of you are saying about how good she is. I'm saying since I did not see her in NXT, the showcase that I've been given is she got attacked walking down to
You're
the
right.
ring on what would have been her debut.
Right.
And didn't even wrestle.
Well, even
And you talk about creative and bad booking. You're trying to make me care about somebody who didn't even get to do one move.
look, Eva Marie
She
had,
didn't even fight back, Rob. She just got attacked.
I didn't see tonight. All I know that Eva Marie has more in-ring skill than Roman fucking Reigns. She has more personality than Roman
Yeah.
fucking Reigns. She has a better.
I'll give her that.
Wait.
That is not a stellar endorsement.
No,
though.
right. She has better pageantry than Roman Reigns. So I'm saying Roman got pushed. If you pushed Eva with the right management team and the right creative team, Eva Marie could be an awesome fucking character, regardless of what you think about her.
She was a
in-ring.
standalone heel in
At
NXT.
least-
She
at
was running her
least-
own.
But at least Carmella talked tonight since she didn't get to wrestle. Eva Marie didn't talk, and she didn't wrestle.
I
And
like
you're
that.
trying
I don't
to
know
make
why
me
the
care.
fuck they did
I
that. That was
love
fucking
that.
stupid.
I think you should care because when the girls creep up on you and they're doing the fucking matches that make the nights, when they're stealing the fucking show, you're gonna want to be there to say I was
Because
on
you
their
care
side.
for
Well,
Sasha,
right
right?
now, when I only get 5 matches, I'm forced to watch the Divas matches because I just want some wrestling.
You care for Sasha, right? You care to watch her, right?
Based on the match that I saw where she won the title, that was the first time of all the times that Rob and everybody else has been, and you guys have been prompting the Divas, that is the first time where I went, wow, that
Well,
was a
okay.
good match. And,
Okay.
and part of why I think I like that match over this whole feud and not anything else is because Dana Brooke wasn't there to fuck it up or have a botch.
Okay.
She wasn't included. And she came out afterwards at the end of the match this past week and fucked that up. I mean, it's hard to care with so many botches and so much inexperience.
Well, I'll leave you guys with this because you guys are doing a great show. I'm enjoying watching it. I'll leave you guys with this. You should care, and it's.
Well, let me
it's,
add-
it's
let me-
not-
Rob,
it's-
they care. I'm the one who doesn't.
Let me add to what Adam was saying about until he saw the match against Sasha and Charlotte, where Charlotte took the title, where Sasha took the title. That's unfortunate at the same time, Adam, because Sasha and Charlotte had one of the most epic matches in NXT when Sasha Banks beat Charlotte for the NXT Women's Championship. They've been having epic matches for some time now, way before they were put onto the main roster.
My easiest
So the
counterpoint
thing is,
to that.
when you say "make me care," we're trying to make you care, but you've got to look at the history.
Here's my counterpoint. There is a diva that I care about right now, and
Let's
it's
hear it.
courtesy of Rob, because he got me into this diva. Because when Rob said, "This diva is amazing, this diva is great," I got to see only 2 matches from this diva, and I am totally on board. And it was one against Bayley and one against Nia Jax, and she looked fucking awesome in both of them. And that's Asuka. And she's nowhere to be found in either of these rosters.
what do you do with
so,
her?
Well, what I'm saying is very simple. It's put up or shut up kind of thing. If you can march Eva Marie down for an actual match, maybe I will be impressed. I will watch it. I watched Asuka. I was instantly impressed. I watched that match Sasha and Charlotte had for the title that Sasha won. I was impressed. I want to care. I really do. One of my favorite rivalries of the old days was Trish and Lita. I loved what they did. I loved the way they incorporated some of the other women at time to hold titles and be heels and whatever. But they had great matches, whether it was triple threat or whatever. I want to care about the Divas division again. I even tried to care during Beth Phoenix and Mickie James era. I want to care. And quite honestly, I got 2 matches that never happened tonight. And that's what I'm supposed to care about?
I think where the problem lies in this, Adam, is when you say, make me care, you're addressing that question to everybody like, make me care about these girls. You should care about the creative because the girls have proved.
Well, the creative is the problem.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, but you down on the girls, and you
I'm downing on the division.
No, when you're like, oh, she was a valet or she was an escort or she's shit or she ain't fucking shit or the only one I like is Asuka.
I just gave Trish props and she started as an escort.
I know, but Trish and Lita.
So you can come around.
Leave Trish, Lita, Bayley, and fucking Sasha and all them out of it. The ones that you do regularly dog on, and I'm not calling you a pig or anything. I'm just saying you do regularly dog on them. We all agree with that. We all see it, right, Kiera?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see that. You dog on them. And these girls have worked their asses off, and they are good workers in the ring. Even Eva Marie, who has worked her ass off. The problem is not their fault. So when you say make me care, I would say to you, make you care about the creative and put up a fight for these girls rather than put the fight against these girls. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think they should watch some Lucha Underground.
So now I'm gonna
exit stage left. Thank
mic
you,
drop.
Rob.
Mic drop.
Thank you, Rob. Let's go in, Brian. I got these sheets in front of me.
Let's see.
Are they finally going to come into play?
Yes,
or is this
they
like
are.
our drunk show where we don't even use them?
No.
Do I have one?
Yeah, you should have one.
Okay.
You should have one somewhere over there.
This asshole's hogging the sheets.
And he put both in front of me.
All right, let's see. I got a lot of papers in front of me. All right.
Anybody else chime in before we go into trivia on the Divas? Anybody try to defend them?
No, I mean, they were all just kind of saying all the same stuff that we were saying as far as, there's nothing really to fight for. So what's the point? And
Yeah.
I totally agree. I mean, I kind of look at, I mentioned it last week, I believe, as far as
But
having...
I don't think a second belt fixes it.
No, you can't have a second belt. They definitely don't have the talent for it. All right, so you guys all have a piece of paper in front of you, correct?
Yes.
Right? It has about, I think, like 12 to 15 names.
You want me to count?
No. I want you guys.
It has 15.
Yep.
Right. So what you guys are going to have to do, I'll start the timer, all right? And we can we'll go back and forth, too. We'll have the chat going, so we can kind of get that going along as well. I'll start the timer, and then you guys have to go through each of these names and give an alias or a different name that they used to wrestle under. It could have been during a different stint during WWE, Indies, anything.
Gotcha.
These are all guys on the SmackDown roster, so it kind of works for our shtick, if you will. All right, so I'll give you guys. Let's see. Starting now.
So we just write it down.
Yeah, you can write it down. Yeah, I'll give you guys.
You got some music?
Yeah.
You have Curtis Axel twice on the list.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I wanted it there.
Oh, whatever.
Let's see. Let's see what we got going on in the chats.
Yeah, you've been great on that tonight.
Women's European champion. That's a good idea. Let's see. I mean, women's hardcore. That was something that Jay Dizzle suggested. Let's see. Anyone remember the first time Eva Marie tapped out when she was being submitted multiple times? That was a good one. Everyone's been really hard on Eva Marie.
You got Curtis Axel in here twice.
That's all right. So you guys can write it twice.
All right.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Fuck you. Way to try and save your fuck up.
All right. I'll give you guys another, 20 seconds or so?
Hold on.
You're killing me.
Adam may beat me in this.
Come on. And me being the quote-unquote indie darling.
I know.
All right.
Do we get multiple points if we can name multiple names?
Yeah. Sure.
Oh, yeah,
That'll work for me.
All right. Some of these I'm just writing something insulting down if I don't know them.
Something insulting?
Right, yeah.
Okay. That'll work.
What an ass.
Right? All right.
Here we go.
Pens down.
Wait.
Hey, ask
Let's see.
W Rock if they're going to plug us as well, or they hijack our chat board.
Let's see. We got VPXW Rock. Hey, I'm doing a big wrestling. Let's see. I'm doing a big wrestling this week review on Friday with some other YouTubers, and you can come on if you'd like. If you're interested, DM me on Twitter. I can't read his name.
We'll look at it after the show. Maybe consider it. Yeah.
Well, I didn't say who it was or anything like that. I won't get into that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm missing. I think I gave you guys one of my papers. Let's see.
What?
Flip yours over, Adam. No, Kiara, flip yours over.
What?
Is there anything on the
It's
back of
blank.
yours? It's blank. All right, that's good.
You are great at this production. Let me just
All
tell
right,
you.
so number one, Kane. Do you guys have anything?
I got two of them.
Let's hear it.
Fake Diesel and
that's right.
Isaac Yankem DDS.
Why the hell did I put fake Diesel? I thought that didn't count.
Why wouldn't it count?
I don't know.
There's a character. Yeah, I got
There we
two.
go. Yeah.
I got two. What do you got, Kiara?
I had shit.
Nothing?
Shit, you didn't get anything?
Yeah, nothing.
All right. Number two, Alberto Del Rio. Adam, anything?
I wrote Alberto Del Suckass.
That really is an insult.
Oh,
Kiara.
I didn't have anything, and I know that he wrestled for Lucha Underground, but I don't know his
Correct.
character name. I didn't know his character name then.
The correct answer would have to be Alberto. Well, he had a bunch of names actually before he came to WWE.
I know.
Afterwards,
yeah.
it was Alberto Del Patron.
That's right. Oh,
Yes.
I'm so mad about that.
All right,
write
going
that
down,
down.
we've got Apollo Crews.
I didn't have an insult or a guess here.
I've got that one.
What do you got? What do you got, Kiara?
Indie name, Uha Nation.
Oh,
Damn it.
no. You got it. Say it again.
Uha Nation. Yeah.
Yes, that makes
I
me
know my
so
guy.
happy. I'm
Yeah.
going to ring it twice.
Yeah.
That makes
you
you
know
so
about
happy.
Apollo prior to WWE, right?
Yeah, he was
Right.
a lot of PWG. He was only a guy, I think he only had about 5 or 6 years experience before that. Awesome. I'm going to keep track, even though we're not really keeping score anyway. Bray Wyatt, next one. Adam, what do you got?
Husky Harris.
There we go.
Is it Harris? I thought it was Husky Humphreys.
Husky Humphreys.
Shit. I had Husky Harris in my head. Do I still get credit for that?
Did you say it?
I fucked
mean,
it
did
up.
you write it?
No,
I
she
put
was
Husky
Husky
Humphreys.
Husky Humphrey.
That's not
it was
the
either
same.
I
It was
wish
up in
that,
the air.
that's a good one.
Ah.
All right. Let's see. Come on, you guys. Daniel Bryan.
I wrote Brian Danielson.
Thank God.
Oh, that could have counted?
Yeah.
That's what he
Shit.
wrestled as.
Yeah. What are
I
you
thought
thinking?
that was just his real name.
Well, but that was the name that he went by before he. I mean, even before he was in WWE.
God damn it.
All right. Going down. Let's see.
She was right though. I am killing her.
Yeah. Dean Ambrose.
He is the reason that I've been winning the last 2 pay-per-view predictions. That's what his nickname is.
Nothing.
I got nothing.
That wasn't an insult. That was a
You guys need to
pick me up.
I
I put Shield.
Shield. No.
Yeah.
Shield.
No.
That doesn't count.
I know.
John Moxley.
Yeah.
That's when he had the crazy
matches.
colored hair.
Yeah.
No,
that was when he was with the other company. I can't remember what it was.
I know he did a lot of CZW.
CZW, that was it.
Okay. You remember, he made an appearance back in 2002
Oh, he
in
was
WWE?
he was even as that as WWE when he first came in. He was Moxley.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Let's see. We got Fandango.
Fandango, he was one of those NXT guys at one time that got a training thing, and his gimmick before he was Fandango came out, and he was the broken arm and break a leg, and he kept
right.
Look at you, Adam.
But I cannot remember his name, so I wrote.
I don't remember it
I wrote
either.
Johnny Worthless.
Close. What about you, Kira?
It was
I
Johnny
don't remember
something,
it.
I think.
Johnny, he did have
Johnny
a different
Curtis.
character.
Johnny Curtis.
Yes,
Johnny Curtis.
That's it.
All right.
Give you props, Adam.
Guys.
We didn't give you props for Husky Humphreys, so we didn't give me anything for Johnny Worthless.
That's right.
Well, I didn't even know you knew about that, about Fandango.
Yeah, I remembered because it was the weirdest thing. It's like they gave him a push, and he never had an in-ring debut, and then disappeared and came back as Fandango.
Let's see.
This guy's a hell of a wrestler. He has a killer leg drop. Elbow.
Elbow?
Diving. Yeah.
That's how much you remember him, is that you
right.
didn't even remember that.
Guys, ready? The face that runs the place.
I got it. I got this one.
John Cena. Come on.
The prototype.
Thank God.
I didn't have anything.
You didn't. The prototype.
When was that?
Back in OVW, he was the prototype.
I
Batista
didn't-
was the Leviathan, and Randy, of course, always went by Randy.
Unfortunately, I didn't know that much about Cena back in OVW.
Leviathan or Leviathan, however you pronounce
Leviathan.
it. That was
Batista.
That was Batista. Right. Yeah, that was.
And the prototype was Cena.
That was
and
Cena.
Randy was still Randy.
Yes, right.
That was OVW. They all got
That makes
moved
me
up at
happy.
the same time.
I know. I didn't know that much
Batista.
about Cena
He
in
used to
OVW.
be Devon's heavy.
Next one, Kalisto.
Make a lucha great thing.
Make lucha.
That's what I wrote.
I put Lucha Dragons. I don't know.
Lucha Dragon? No.
Naming the tag team they were in is not an
I
alias.
know. I'm just trying to get some credit.
If you have
possibly.
Rybaxel for Curtis Axel, you're also
No.
not getting any credit.
We had Samurai Del Sol. That was his name. And actually, I believe he uses it as one of his
Yeah.
names, one of the moves in his moveset. Yeah, all right. I had it twice, apparently. Curtis Axel.
I wrote, and I can't remember the first name, but it was McGillicuddy.
I'll give it to you.
No.
Let's see.
You got nothing, Kira? You should have put Mr. Perfect Jr.
I was thinking of something like that.
Could have. Nothing, Kiara.
Nothing.
Let's see.
Curtis Axel's on the list twice. Like, he's even worth
Brennan
mention.
Bread. Nikki Bella's ass I miss.
Well, then you should.
The women wrestlers.
Thank you for bringing that up. Then you should have watched the Teen Choice Awards.
They were
'cause
on air.
Apparently, that was worth wasting a lot of time tonight mentioning that Cena was there. So was his girlfriend to accept an award along with her twin sister.
Yeah.
Yawn.
What a work.
Yeah, you might miss the ass. Turn on the E Network. Sorry, Brennan. We finally disagree.
All right. Who next?
Fucking Cesaro.
Cesaro, right. There we go. Adam, go.
I just wrote Swiss Superman. I got
Man, you guys need to do some homework.
I know. I'm like,
your
I'm very,
SmackDown
very.
superstars.
I'm embarrassed.
Fake Jason Statham.
That's true. Yeah.
Jason Statham stunt double.
Claudio Castagnoli.
I've never even
He
heard
had
that.
long hair. He still kind of did the Swiss.
At least
gimmick.
like Moxley and
Yeah.
some of these other ones we get wrong, we've
I gotta
heard.
write this down.
That one I've never. Yeah, Kara's writing it down like
All
she's ever
right, so
going
we
to
did
use that
Curtis
information
Axel
again.
already. Let's go Finn Balor.
Here you go. You better get this one because I got nothing.
Prince Devitt.
Thank
Of course.
you.
I know him.
Even though that's I don't know why he's on there, but that's just a mix. That's okay.
Better have Finn on there, Brian.
What about you?
You
Adam?
switch every
Nothing?
week who you love.
You got
I got nothing. I got the next two right.
Goldust, go.
Dustin Rhodes.
Yes. Thank you. That'll work. I'll
Did you
accept
not
that.
write down?
Yeah, I got something.
I'll accept that. And I'll
Dustin
also
Reynolds.
accept,
No, that's his real name. He never
Yeah,
wrestled as it. That's
He didn't?
That's
no, if
debatable.
we're going real
Wait a
names,
minute, no.
I want
He
Glenn
did.
Jacobs
He did.
points. I want all. No, he
He
never
did it one
wrestled as
time.
Dustin Reynolds.
All right, we'll have to.
What about the
Never.
fucking,
Never. You got
What's the
nothing.
match?
You because you're wrong is why you got
where
nothing.
Paulie Dangerously was out there and you had
Dustin Rhodes. That's the
I
match.
thought it was Dustin Reynolds.
No, we
at one
watched it
time.
on the network. He was Dustin Rhodes back
All right,
then.
we'll have to go back to that
And
one.
they were
And then the
coming.
last
Research
one.
that one.
JBL.
Bradshaw.
Yeah, I had Bradshaw too.
Okay,
But
you
he
both got
also
it.
when he wasn't he part of the Smoking Guns as something else? Wasn't he something before he was Bradshaw?
Well, he was.
He was. I just can't remember.
He wasn't
He
part
wore
of
the cowboy
Smoking
hat
Guns.
and he
That
came
was,
down with somebody.
Yes, he was Blackjack. Bradshaw.
Oh, it was
Blackjack Bradshaw?
Yeah.
Well, because
Okay.
that's the family of wrestling he came out of was Blackjack Mulligan's dungeon
Well,
or
I think-
training school or whatever.
I don't think he was actually technically like.
He wasn't trained by him?
Well, no, I'm saying he wasn't really related to them. He was just it was gimmick
but he was trained by them. He's like it's like Tyson Kidd
Right.
in the Hearts.
Right.
Yeah. So,
all right, and that's
who won? Did you even keep track, or did you hit the buzzer?
Yeah, no. Let's see. Adam 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I won
6, and Kiera had 2. I have.
Those really count. Those are the ones that really count.
And what kills me, I mean, I thought you guys knew a little bit more about. I know I always bring my little indie pizzazz.
I have 8
Well, I knew
according to
about
my
Finn
sheet.
forever.
Just FYI.
Well, I know Adam won by a lot, and
Kiera
Kiera, you
sucked.
lost by a lot more.
Women suck,
I know.
men rule. Gotcha. All right. It's time for the Asylum, Brian.
It is time for the Asylum. Where did it go?
You are killing me. I asked you at the beginning of the show, you got everything in the queue? All you got to do is point and fucking click a mouse from here. And you are killing me. Kara?
What's up, man?
You know, here we go.
There it
you don't
is.
have to film
There
it.
it is.
Now.
Excuse me.
Sure, you got it. You got it, buddy.
As for mio, oh, sada mia. All right, that's it. Now it's my turn. 5 minutes alone. That's all I need.
Are you kidding me? Anyway, you're terrible at your job. All right, you said you got it, but you didn't get my cue. All right, so tonight's Asylum, I'm going to complain / get on my soapbox here, as I normally do. Talking about reversals versus botches. I really like reversals. Kara, Brian, I think you do too.
Yeah.
They make a good match. They make it look really technical. They make the story get told. These guys each cannot seem to get a move on each other. They keep getting reversals. We see brand new ones. Cesaro, the way he reversed Sheamus on Raw is a good example. There's plenty of other ones. However, I think that it shows a glaring weakness when they have all these botches because they're trying to do so many reversals. They're trying to be technically above their own abilities. And I feel that that's what's causing so many botches lately. I mean, there's a friggin' YouTube channel devoted just to Botchamania. Why you got the clock on me? Just running sound effects, you jackass.
Yes, it's a segment, man.
He finally figured out how to click a mouse, so he's putting a clock on me. In case you haven't noticed, there is no Roadie Rob. I am the head ninja in charge. And because of that,
sabotage, man.
Oh, listen, all y'all. Sorry, that made me think. Now you made me think of Star Trek Beyond. Sorry if that's a spoiler
Oh my
alert for those that
gosh.
haven't seen it. So back to the topic, Kira and Brian. I love reversals. I think they're really technical, but I think so many people are trying to do too much of them that they're leading to these botches. I don't remember seeing so many botches, but I don't remember seeing people trying to do such technical things.
But
certain people can pull them off, and certain people keep botching them.
Do you think it's because we're live now? I mean, do you think
They're rushing it.
If you practice it, you can do it right. That maybe it's because these guys aren't getting time to work together and rehearse it. But if
I agree
that's
with
the
that.
case, then don't put it in the match.
Yeah, don't cover it.
If a guy can't do a climb to the top rope, you don't give him a top rope spot.
No, that's not true. I mean, look at what I mean. Zack Ryder. When was that? Was that last? Was it Monday when he had the really kind of tough go of it, if you will?
That could have been rehearsed, and he still fucked it up.
Yeah, I mean, he's done that move a million
That
times.
was in the Chaos Royal that I called it.
Yeah, but still, I mean, things like that happen. I mean, I don't know if this is just a veil that SmackDown could hide behind.
Well, but Brian, you're the one out of all of us with in-ring experience. If you and I have an upcoming match that we're preparing for, that we're getting our spots and moves and everything set and planned out, and I tell you, I want you to do a Hurricanrana, and you go, I have the worst hips in the world. I cannot jump and roll in a Hurricanrana to sell it. I don't think we should do a Hurricanrana because I can't sell it.
Yes.
And then that could be the end of the discussion.
Right.
Or we could go, we'll try and do a reversal that neither one of us has ever pulled off before.
Yeah.
And put it in a live show.
I mean, that's kind of what house shows are for. These guys kind of go, they have the time to kind of go over some of the sequences, moves, spots, if you will.
And that's what I'm getting at. So do you think these spots have been successful enough in house shows to get greenlit for the live product?
I mean,
because they look unrehearsed.
I have been saying that it seems that WWE's kind of let the reins go a little bit as far as what the guys can and can't do in the ring. I do think that maybe they are kind of getting a little bit trying to do too much. Less is more. That's always been kind of what everyone's been saying. And then if you look at like PWG or Evolve, like they're these companies where all these guys are doing all these flips and everything. And I mean, it's completely different.
You know what?
And I'm including CWC, by the way, guys.
Right.
Because some of that's been shown on there. Kara.
To add on to what Brian was saying about there's less time in the ring, things are being rushed. I remember listening to a shooter interview. Oh, gosh, who was it? It was by one of the older cats. He was saying how there was some miscommunication in the match between him and his opponent, and he had been on break for a while. Once he got back, the rehearsing for the match was very brief. Very rushed. So once the match came, he wanted to showcase his moves, but his opponent, just wanted to have all the glory. So he really didn't get that many moves. So it was a lot of botches in it. Just a lot of rushing.
Now, one of our fans, Rob Allen, chimes in. Fans are pushing them beyond their ability, maybe demanding that this new era go back to the old style of wrestling, and some of these guys just can't do it. We were kind of, I think they were talking about that a little bit on RAWESOME. Is
you talk capability wise, or
they were? I think it was Sheamus they were talking about, but they were basically saying that in the new era, Sheamus doesn't fit in because he can't go with their style. So if they want Sheamus to be successful, maybe that's what he's saying here, that they're pushing them beyond their ability. It's like I just said to you in the hypothetical. If I tell you to go sell a Hurricanrana and you can't physically sell a Hurricanrana, but the fans demand,
then you wouldn't do that spot. I mean, there's things that
but if you get booked in a match with Kalisto, you're going to go through an entire match with Kalisto without one Hurricanrana?
No, I mean, we can do a Hurricanrana, but I mean, if I legit can't sell.
That's what I'm saying.
I can't sell a
you
Hurricanrana,
legit can't do a Hurricanrana, and you're booked in a match with a lucha wrestler who uses it 6 times a match. He's got to use it at least once against you.
We'd work around it. We do it a way where you do a Hurricanrana into the second rope. I mean, there'd just be ways where you can kind of do it where it doesn't necessarily go through with the actual bump.
He is the former.
Plus, I mean,
indie
guys,
wrestler,
you're not going to do something that you don't feel comfortable taking, unless it's like a big spot where it's like a table spot or anything like a TLC or any stuff like that. But generally, like just TV matches like this, I mean, that's kind of just a walk in the park for these guys. And
well, Kira chimed.
Well, that's insightful.
Yeah,
so
Kira
you're saying that's
in.
pretty much how.
I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm saying it's live and they have one take to do it. So
you know,
tough.
I've done a lot of these
So
asylums.
there's always a way to work around it. That's what you're saying.
I've done a lot of these asylums. This based on, and I agree with Kira. I'm gonna concede it. I'm going to concede the point here, Brian, and think that they should have worked around it, and maybe in the rehearsal these spots worked right, and they botched them live. Maybe that's what it is.
Please listen to my voice. Take it from the wise old Jew.
I love that. I love that. Oh, what does that say? No stretchers, grapplers. Oh, that is a good point. There's no longer a style of wrestlers. There's no longer a guy who is a high flyer, a guy who is a striker, a guy who is a submission specialist. They've gotten away from those monikers where the gimmick was, yes, the character, but they also had a wrestling gimmick to go with it. Undertaker was a striker. Kurt Angle was a mat submission wrestler. That kind of thing. High flyer, Jeff Hardy. Shawn Michaels, another high flyer, if you will. So, yeah, they've gotten away from that. So our final couple topics before we go into the final thought here are our SummerSlam shape-up. We saw a couple matches get added. We saw a rematch between Sasha and Charlotte get added on Raw. And we saw a Roman. I'm glad we don't cover Roman anymore. We saw Roman it looks like going to get a chance against Rusev. It seemingly has been set up that way for a U.S. title. Maybe they make it a 4-way and throw in Cesaro and some other people. Who knows there? So that one's not official. And it appeared that KO and Jericho might do some works with Enzo and Cass. I don't know there. The SmackDown matches that got added tonight were AJ and Cena, Part 2, even though they wrestled in that 6-man tag. And the other one that got added was Miz and Apollo.
I like that one.
Is there any other matches, speculatory matches, that you think could get added? Could Natty and Carmella go to SummerSlam as a pre-show or an actual match?
I don't want them to do that to Carmella.
I don't want to bring up the Divas again, but is SmackDown have a Divas match to put on SummerSlam's card?
Of course.
That is even pre-show worthy. Name it.
Yeah.
Tell me. What's that match?
Good luck.
You got Sasha and Charlotte as Raw's contribution for Divas on SummerSlam. What is SmackDown's contribution?
Let's do Alexa and Carmella.
We have no storyline built.
Okay, we've got how many weeks left?
3.
All right.
We have 2 episodes. 2 episodes of SmackDown to build a rivalry and a division that didn't even have a fucking match tonight. That's
and rivalries have been built like in a time span like that. You and I both know that.
Yeah, when a belt is involved and you put a number 1 contender, that's how you throw it in there. Like for instance, New Day and Gallows and Anderson have not.
And if you're talking
become
pre-show,
an official match, they
if you're
probably
talking
will
pre-show
because
worthy,
they can throw it in for the belt.
If you're talking pre-show worthy, they can definitely build a feud within 2 weeks.
But it's going to be a pre-show. Is what my point still being is Raw is putting a good Divas offering up, and SmackDown is putting a pre-show offering up.
Do you think they have to put something on just because it is a joint pay-per-view, or do you think they can kind of get away with just having
if they don't, they are telling the WWE universe, we really don't care about these girls. We don't care about this division on SmackDown. We're not giving it creative. And they'll just confirm everything we've said. Is there any other match that you think gets added? Is there anything else? That there are some SmackDown people. I mean, here's another one. If New Day and the club fight at SummerSlam like our RAWESOME compatriots predicted, just like the Divas conversation, what would the SmackDown tag team equivalent be that they would put up there? The only tag match we got tonight was American Alpha versus Vaudevillains. What would they?
But they already
put them against the Usos.
Had that, right.
Put them against Ascension. Put them against any other of these teams that we don't care about. Like SmackDown. Last week I was excited because they made me excited. They had at least a little bit of storyline works. This week they got nothing, and they got 2 more episodes before SummerSlam. And I said this earlier when I said that our other marked out guys had way too many supposed matches to get added for SummerSlam. But the more I think about it, what would SmackDown add to the card? Who is left out of this card other than Bray Wyatt that makes a fuck on SmackDown? He is the only person. And he basically might be the one that gives Ziggles an out by screwing him against Ambrose and starting a rivalry with Ziggler post that. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, I really have no idea what
Kara, you look like you have something to say. Fucking let it out.
No, I'm looking at the board. I'm looking at what they have, what they're speculating.
Well, they're speculating the ones with the question marks. Because Bray Wyatt right now is left out on SmackDown. KO, I don't know if they're going to be right and them do that. But KO kind of got left off. He was only in commentary and a promo last night on Raw. I was shocked that Rob didn't complain more about that.
And we're just saying for SmackDown, right? What other match can be thrown in there?
Yeah, what other match can SmackDown contribute? We added AJ and Cena, and we already had Ziggler and Ambrose.
Okay, you said that.
What other match could they bring to this card?
We had the tag team match with American Alpha and Vaudevillains. Why wouldn't we do that for SummerSlam? That's a good fucking match.
We just did it, and Vaudevillains got jobbed to put American Alpha over in their debut. So that's my point. What could they? You're talking about if after this they're getting their own pay-per-views. You're talking about trying to get your audience to tune into the SmackDown only pay-per-views. What do they have?
Well, maybe.
What do they have to draw us to a SmackDown only pay-per-view? Because where's my old damn notes? Let's look right after. They have 3 weeks before Backlash on September 11th, which is a SmackDown exclusive event.
Okay.
And we don't even have a third fucking match we can throw on SummerSlam from this shit.
What if there's a 6-man? What if they throw in American Alpha with New Day and Gallows and Anderson?
That's not a 6-man. That would be a triple threat tag team.
A triple threat tag team.
I don't see it happening.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Why the fuck does that say 6-man?
I don't see it happening. I would love to see the tag division be at all relevant, but there's a reason that they...
Right. It just goes back to what's the purpose of them even fighting? What are they fighting for?
Defend the championship.
No, defend your point. Can you? I don't ever want to play charades with you. You're saying American Alpha could contend for the titles. They debuted tonight against the Vaudevillains. What makes you think that they would even get a push to be worthy?
Apollo.
Apollo's,
They just got pushed up on the.
Apollo got pushed on his show. You're talking about a tag team from SmackDown getting included in a title match with New Day. What tag team on SmackDown is deserving of being included in a New Day match? You said to defend.
Why not American Alpha? Yeah, they just came on to SmackDown. They've proven that they're a great fucking tag team. They were the NXT tag team champions
for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, but they're still riding that wave.
I mean, these are the guys that have been around a long time. They've definitely earned their spot.
Exactly.
I don't know that they've earned a title shot for you to say that they're going to do a cross promotion.
Finn Balor.
Yeah, Finn Balor is not an argument for American Alpha.
I'm saying
Finn
he
Balor's
was drafted from NXT roster, just like American Alpha was drafted.
And Finn was long overdue and carried NXT to takeover status and all of that. I'm saying you're talking about make a lucha thing great again. You're talking about make a tag team thing great again. Well, SmackDown just got fucking cut off at the shins. They're walking around like Cotton Hill from King of the Hill, trying to compete with everybody else and no belt. And I'm not trying to shoot either one of you guys down with your idea. I like American Alpha. I'm not saying I don't like these suggestions. I'm saying they have no work, they have no angle, they have no creative to go along with it.
But this could be their thing. I mean, this could be the jump to
not?
Kind of give
this
them
is
the
a new
boost and get
era.
them over. Especially with what they're doing with all the other guys that don't have that necessarily that WWE experience or namesake, I guess.
I mean,
well, the only thing that leads me to believe you might be right in any sense is that they haven't officially said Club versus New Day, but they haven't officially done anything else. And if they did that, now we've got too many invading factors. If they try to, even on the invasion sense, if American Alpha starts showing up and attacking New Day, and New Day starts showing up and attacking American Alpha, now we have 3 wrestlers that are allowed to go to both shows.
So it makes it like even more interesting.
So
now we
then
got
there's
tag
not
team
a brand
divisions,
split. That's the whole problem with this creative. They have backed themselves into a corner, and they have no way out of it.
I think you're looking at it in a negative way.
I just think that they don't necessarily know, they don't really have a plan.
So we're
that could be.
So basically, we have all conceded to agree with our Memphis affiliate Bob that these are truly that we don't know what the fuck to do with you all stars.
Yes.
Are you saying that because you think there's no hope for the tag team division?
I'm saying there's nothing to care about and fight for, just like the Divas without the title. They got a bunch of guys who couldn't get the job done. Ascension, I'm sorry, Brian.
You never
throwing
know.
them under the fucking bus.
It's the new era. You never know.
Yeah. It's the new era.
Paint their other eye red and black.
Yeah. They could switch their paint schemes, each of them, to the other ones, and I wouldn't still know the difference.
That's true.
I think that's where I think the wild card is gonna come into play again. You got Shelton Benjamin coming in. He was a wild card.
They didn't even mention him tonight.
No, they didn't, but he's gonna be coming soon.
Fucking Rob broke my heart at the end of last week's show when we went off the air, and I said, "Oh, we get Shelton next week." He said, "No, the graphics said coming soon." It was American Alpha. They said next week, and I was
we
like,
did get our
"Damn
hopes
it!"
up too high too soon. It's okay.
Yeah, Shelton's one of my boys. Of course, I got excited.
There it is.
The one time Brian gets a cue at the end of the fucking show.
His face.
If you knew how much notes I get,
Shelton,
I'm sadly earning more respect for Rob. Let's. Bottom line, SummerSlam shakeup. I hope we have a better discussion of this next week. I hope we have a better direction of what SmackDown's offering is going to be for SummerSlam beyond, Kiara, beyond a pre-show match. Sorry, it's got to be something more than that for me to care. So, I mean, here we are at the end of the show. It's final thoughts. Do you want to start us off? Ladies first. Let's go to the Queen, Kiara.
All right.
Anything you want to talk about, completely open your final thoughts.
I just want to talk about your lack of faith in our damn roster this week. I mean, there was just like total like negativity and hate towards SmackDown. I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, I still see hope with our roster. I still see the talent. I still see the talent within the Divas. I still see the talent within the tag team division. No, I'll admit they won't have they don't have a plan set in stone. Okay. But
I think it's easier for you not to give up hope when the ship is sinking because women and children get to the life rafts first.
Oh, fuck you!
I am standing right next to the life raft because as it goes down, I'm jumping on board. If it comes to that, I have not bailed yet, Kiara, but okay. I am losing faith after seeing and I've beaten the dead horse after seeing two what I feel great Raws. I've seen a okay SmackDown and a completely lackluster one tonight, and I'm not ready to dive off the cliff, but I'm not all in. I'm not buying. Stocks are down, if you will, Kiera. So I haven't sold yet, but my investment is slowly tanking, if you will.
It's a good take.
Brian, what do you got? Final thought.
No. He took my fucking turn.
No, finish.
Are you not done, Kiera?
No, I'm not done.
I thought you wiped and flushed. Go on, finish.
No, you cut me off like you always do, jackass.
This is a podcast discussion.
This is my final thought, though.
By the way, you go jackass here. That's what they say you said on the other show. You're just playing into them.
What? No, it's true.
You're just playing into their hands.
No.
This is the exact fake fight that they said that they enacted, and we're now doing it for them.
We're on the same show now, and we work together, but still, I can still hate you at the same time.
No, you became a parrot just then.
Whatever. So
finish your damn thought.
Besides me, looking at the SmackDown roster and seeing that there is hope because we do have Raw talent there, and I just genuinely
the Raw talent's on Raw.
I genuinely see it. I genuinely see it as a competition roster. I don't know. I think that the wild card is going to play a big effect on the SmackDown roster. That's what I see.
What do you
now?
Sorry, what is the wild card?
Wild
what do you
card.
keep saying wild card?
Wild card.
When you say he's a wild card.
When you say wild card, all I think of is Charlie from Sunny and Philadelphia.
No, wild card. Someone's thrown in that wasn't drafted, that wasn't on the roster.
But what are they bringing with them?
Good example.
Rhino?
Oh, yeah, what are they bringing with them? Rhino speared Heath Slater. What is that?
We
is that his gimmick?
Who else could be
we
drafted.
got Rhino coming to the show so he can kill Heath Slater every week.
Oh no.
What? I love Shelton Benjamin. I'm excited and hyped out about him joining.
He's one of my examples of.
I can see him being a wild card, but I'm saying, how does he save the show? How does he bring it? This is your point. You're saying that a wild card is going to come out of the blue. Is he going to bring a new title? Is a wild card diva going to save the division?
Raw's going to have a new title, the Universal Championship. What if SmackDown does something like that?
And they announced that in the first week. When you said that we don't know what's going on yet with SmackDown, Raw has given us maybe spoon feedings, maybe full helpings. Raw's given us something about the future.
Like Brian said, maybe SmackDown doesn't have a set plan yet.
Yeah,
maybe
I think
we'll
they should
just
give
have to
them
see what's
a
going to unravel.
A little bit more time.
Yeah,
when you don't,
a little bit more time. And I hate
fresh.
saying that because I don't want to give them. I mean, how many times have they burned us as far as i.e. Roman Reigns? I don't know. I don't.
Hey, at least we don't have. At least we don't have Roman.
At least, but Roman would give us something to discuss because he's seemingly been pushed down.
I will
say
though, they are hellbent on pushing the guys that Cruz. AJ still is obviously getting his time to shine. Ziggler. I mean, I hope that this just isn't just a flash in the pan, and I hope that they kind of continue doing stuff like that.
All right. Well, before I go to Brian for his final thought, Kara, are you officially done?
I lost my train of thought, so.
That train derailed back in Chicago.
Whatever.
What do you got, Brian? Final thought.
I just wonder how long, because we've been kind of saying this a bunch tonight, how long what their patience level is, and if they're not if they're getting all this feedback as far as saying Raw is this great show, 3 hours, well worth watching. SmackDown was only 2 hours, and still we're in our second week, and it's still kind of all just although they're doing a good job and pushing the new guys, it's still just kind of just more of the same, and it doesn't have. I don't know. It's just missing something. I wonder what if they kind of notice that it's not working and they add, they kind of swap and put the cruiserweight division back on SmackDown. I mean, they've been promoting.
I told you earlier I'm getting more excited for CWC each week.
Right. Brian brings up a good point, and I'll add to that. I think there's too much going on for Raw.
Right. Yeah,
maybe
they have 3 hours.
The deck is stacked against SmackDown.
Maybe they didn't think this through. I mean, Raw has always been like the more dominant show, but at the same time, you guys do remember SmackDown was the banging show at one time. SmackDown was the better show. So maybe they should transfer some of that energy onto SmackDown roster.
SmackDown was the better show back when Rock was around. And he created the SmackDown Hotel, and he used to
that was for a couple of years.
And Heyman was GM, and Angle was GM,
that was for years,
and then Vicky took it to shit.
Exactly.
My final thought, I don't really technically have one. I've exhausted all I have to say with you guys tonight. Yeah. But I want to go to the comments on there, Brian. Let's just round out the last final comments that we've had. I want to thank everybody who's participated. Let's see. Do we have anything else before we sign off coming through?
Let's see. Ambrose, Styles, Cena, Lesnar, Orton, lots of big names.
Hey,
and talent
real quickly.
Yeah.
You say the name of who's saying it. You don't just read.
This just says upload test.
It says upload test?
That's his name.
His name is upload test.
His or her name.
Oh.
Do we know?
All right. What is their comment?
Definitely need more. Definitely need more. They have the big talent there, but they definitely need more. It's on the creative side.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we've been saying. We still don't. Let's see.
Using AJ and Cena in a promo war again instead of some kind of work.
Yeah, but I mean, there's still fight there. I mean, it's guys like I don't want to compare it to Sammy and.
Well, part of the reason is last week everybody at least got marched out for that battle royal.
Right.
Lots of guys got left off tonight.
Let's see. We got Joker. Problem with all the big talent is no one cares to see the same old battles. Creative needs to get really creative and shake things up. They're shaking things up, but they're not. I don't know. They're not.
I would rather see a Dolph Ziggler Bray maybe feud, even though I think we've kind of seen a little bit of taste of that, and have AJ go against Dean. AJ so far has really wrestled nobody but Cena and Roman. He had 2 matches against Roman. He had 3 against Cena, and he had whatever the hell the other one was at Fastlane. I can't remember who he wrestled.
I don't know.
No, that wasn't Dean. Dean was in the triple threat that night. I don't remember who it was.
Let's see.
Oh, no, he fought Dean at Roadblock.
And then this is another rumor that's been going around. Jay Dizzle, Kurt Angle to SmackDown.
You know, I read a different article. That's why I didn't put it in the Mud Report. That would be a wild card. That would be a very big wild card, Kira. Right. But I read an also conflicting article that said under no circumstance is he returning during the brand split because Kurt, doesn't want to be on one show, or maybe they find a way where he's a floating guy. Maybe they do. I would like to see. I know they've already did it with Triple H, but have a legit big free agent, have Kurt Angle get wooed for like a month back and forth, and then maybe at a pay-per-view. Joint pay-per-view at Survivor Series, he announces which show he's going to go with or something.
Right.
And we have everybody pander to him maybe a little bit. I don't know. So that is our show.
No, I got one more thing.
Ooh.
You were turning into the and then girl.
Adam, you said earlier.
I love this.
That
what did
my
I say?
hair needed Jesus fix. my curls are popping today, bro.
Well,
she got good curls, man.
My waves are popping today.
Maybe you got your protein shake. that makes your hair look better. This is really at the end. You're going to argue with me about a comment I made off air about your hair. I can't help it that your daughter's hair is better than yours.
She
and
gets
you
it from
get jealous
me.
because we all brag about.
Dick.
Well, we know it's not from your bald baby daddy, because he ain't got no hair to give to anyone. Let alone if he did, he'd probably keep it for himself so he could cover his chin some more. Anyway, we're gonna look and hope. I can't wait to see what RAWESOME creative comes up with for the retaliation.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can't afford Patrick to come out and roast us.
I don't think so.
But
I think he's busy.
We'll see how that plays out. As always, we get the last word, though, because we go out the next night, and they have a whole week to forget what their real retorts would be. I'd like to thank, though, everybody that joined us online tonight with the comments and stuff. We had some good ones going back and forth. I thought my baby birds compliment to you guys, did a little better tonight. You didn't make me care about the Divas division, but you brought up some other good
Neither
points.
did they, though.
And Brian, you got me to concede one of my asshole Asylum points, so that's a big thing.
Moving on up, man.
Moving on up. That's all we can do. Tune in next week. We're going to try, for Joker who called us out, we're going to try and get closer to the 10:30 start time next week, providing Mary cooperates. For the heavy Brian, for the Queen Kiera, and for the educated one, myself, Adam Baum, we will see you next week. Same Smark time, same Smark channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Smarkdown Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.